S&P 500 gapping up here. It looks like to start the week after a session that started okay, but ended pretty rough with some recovery here on Friday. So lots of highs and lows here on Friday. Let's see if this gap up can just stay a gap up today. Nasdaq looking very similar to the SPY this morning. Again, gapping up. We're led here by a lot of strength in semiconductors. Take a look here at the SMH. We'll talk a lot here more about these, but names like Intel and also a lot of these manufacturing plays in the semiconductor space doing quite well this morning. In terms of housekeeping, we do have some economic data to be aware of more later in the day, so nothing coming through at 8:30 a.m. Though at 9:45, we're going to be getting S&P Services and Composite PMI. Then we'll get ISM Services PMI at 10. Let's talk here about some of the names on watch today. You're going to get the likes of SpaceX and Focus SPCX joining the Nasdaq effective tomorrow morning, which means it's going to be added tonight. This could be a pretty big addition to watch here heading into the close today. Keep an eye on these memory plays as well. We talked about semiconductors, but another adjacent sector here is going to be memory. SK Hynix set to make its debut in the U.S. stock market this week. Tesla back in focus here after those delivery numbers, which were way stronger than expected, but not too well received by the market. There's going to be a lot to discuss today. We hope everyone had a happy and exciting Independence Day and long weekend. And welcome back and good morning to Sharif. How was your FIFA weekend?
It was really good. Thank you for asking, Adara, and happy belated 4th to everybody. What a fantastic experience it was to have the 4th of July with you guys down south. Yes, not to be forgotten for a while. Guys, lots to talk about today. Meta tying the knot here with Taiwan Semi, 2 nanometers, custom ASICs designed by the South Korean tech giant for Meta, something to keep an eye out on there. And then the Vera Rubin rack delay gives AI rivals a bit of a head start here, possibly on NVIDIA. That is going to be delayed as well, and AMD wasting no time. They are designing a custom AI chip, and they're up nicely here to start the morning, about 3.7%. But as Adara mentioned, all eyes on DRAM, 7 1/3 here as SK Hynix looks to find its North American listing on Friday. I believe it's going to be ticker SKHY, in case you really want to get a head start and thing. Lockheed Martin, $3.5 billion maritime deal, and Boeing, their 737 MAX line, looking to expand. So they're up. Are they up? No, they're down here, 0.2 to start the morning there.
There's definitely going to be a lot to discuss today to kick off this Monday. And we're also going to say good morning here and happy belated Independence Day, as it were, to Sean and Joe. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. Good morning, everybody. How you doing, Joe?
We're good, man. We're good.
Good. Yeah. Thanks, Adara. Frog in the throat early. Yeah, just watching out for some SpaceX here. We had a good weekend. I mean, it was nice to have a 3-day weekend. I mean, I feel like I was just saying to Randy, like now we go into a little bit of a quiet mode, I feel like, for holidays, right? Because there's one in early August. We've got the civic holiday, August.
Is there?
Like a Canadian civic holiday.
Well, we don't. But is there an American one? I don't think.
We don't get anything here on the U.S. side.
Yeah, exactly. Not until Labor Day.
We just had. Oh, my mic is all bad.
Is it? All right. Yeah, we just had Juneteenth. I'm off Friday as well, too. We'll be heading to the capital of this country for the weekend. Looking forward to that. And Neil will be back in the seat tomorrow, guys. Don't worry about that. I know you've seen enough of this handsome face, but don't worry about it. He shall be back in the seat tomorrow morning, bright and early. Guys, a lot going on here. We have DRAM up another 7.5%. Watching a lot of interesting stuff here over the weekend on just what's driving this massive move in some of these South Korean memory names. And we're talking SK Hynix and Samsung. Well, what I was reading up on and just watching, my mic's too bad too? No, you're just see if Andre get that sorted out. So, I mean, with a country that's, I believe, around 60 million people, around 15 of those are retail investors, which is absolutely insane from a percentage metric. So let's get the numbers exactly right. Yeah, I mean, around 51 million people, and 14 to 15 million people are retail investors. And that's what they were just essentially saying is driving these insane runs within the Kospi itself, right? Because half of the index is Samsung and SK Hynix, which is absolutely insane. So they just keep stepping in. It makes the trade a lot easier. And then once again, just my thought process being they are so heavily reliant on American CapEx, what happens on the opposite side of things? I mean, the cost be up like 200+% since last year, which is absolutely insane, outpacing every other major index in multiple countries by a long shot. It's not even close. So, I mean, eventually there's going to be a backside of things, but I wouldn't be standing in front of it at this point. We have DRAM up another 7%, Meta starting to tank a little bit here. I mean, down to 582. The market a little bit choppy, but just like Sean, he's like, first thing he said to me this morning is, we're gonna keep our eyes out on SpaceX. For me, it's DRAM this morning. A lot of interesting stuff that I was reading up on as well. A company called StarCloud. Very interesting stuff. A private company, but looking to put a lot of. They actually put NVDA's H100 into space. So if we're talking data centers, this is one of the companies that is definitely in the upper echelon of this race. And China putting around 2,800 satellites in space as well too. So I mean, we felt like we were far away from putting data centers in space, but that's not necessarily the case. I think we're a lot closer than what we're actually expecting here. And with that being said, I'm going to remain bullish on this SpaceX, especially in the shorter duration. I think we're multiple steps closer and years closer than what we were actually anticipating. So looking forward to that. Is your mic back? Or
I think it's back. I mean, now I have Brendan's mic.
Yeah.
But now I got to mute something in my ear.
Oh, I something as a me?
Myself,
which
is never a good thing.
Right.
But I'll get that worked out with Andre. But yeah, no, I like SpaceX there. And it's funny about that SK Hynix. That should be an awesome. I think that's Friday. So we'll get like an IPO, but it's more like an ADR. So it's just like a new listing coming through. So we'll know the value of it. I think it'll probably be one of those names that you want to buy through, their listing. But, TSM's been, we had was it? I can't remember if it was Steve or was it Mitch that was talking about TSM, but yeah, I think it was Mitch actually. This one could be on the way back to the upside there, bouncing. Yeah, I think it was Mitch, bouncing near off that 440, some recent kind of resistance here for TSM. So Taiwan Semi continues to be on the watch as well. So you barbecued a little bit this weekend, or?
Yeah, oh heck yeah, man!
Yeah,
I'm always
barbecued the crap out of everything. We had some wings.
Man.
What else? What did you have? We had wings and. What did we have last night? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, chicken breasts. I just straight pounded them out. You flattened them out a little bit, threw them straight on the barbecue.
Butterfly those?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, just butterflied them out. Sort of, but pounded them out with a mallet there. Threw them on there, seasoned them with a little bit of, some chili powder. That's a nice little. There's this mix that we have, some sort of a spice mix that's really great. Man. So we just threw that on the grill, and that was really good. And then Marissa made some orzo. And with some feta cheese, orzo, all that olive, all that as like a little side.
Yesterday was nice temperature-wise, right?
Yesterday was really nice. We were out there, played baseball for a couple hours there. Got the pitching machine out.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was really nice. So I saved my arm a little bit there with the girls yesterday. And then we turned the pitching machine around and fired fly balls out there. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. So we had some fun yesterday. And we have practice tonight, though, 8 to 10. Like, what the hell? So a late practice tonight, and then a game back on Wednesday, and then we did a charity hockey event.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called LS7. So it's Laura Stacy, who's like Poulin and all that. So Marie. Yeah, so she was there. So we just it's a road hockey tournament.
Oh, I love it.
So there's about 100 people there, and it's all for charity. So we did that.
I used to play in this Wonderland called the Play On tournament.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, in Wonderland we won one year. It was a good road.
Yeah, this was really good, and so my daughter got to take pictures and talk with like some of the best female hockey players around, and that was really nice. So. The Walter Cup made an appearance, which is like the Stanley Cup for the PWHL. So that was a lot of fun. So we did that. That was on Saturday. And then Sunday, Friday we went downtown, Queen West. That was fun.
How was that?
Good, man. Yeah, we went around and got some food. Walked around. There's a nice card shop there for like sports cards. I just saw this opened up. It looks really nice. I was thinking about this. The card shops, like there was cards in there, like Ronaldo cards. It's now like 10 grand, 15 grand. Like all these cards were so expensive.
Did you see your?
Thinking like you gotta have like a lot of security.
I forget who hosts it, but someone in California host this all-white party where all the celebrities go to. Did you see your boy?
Wearing all white?
Yeah.
Oh, it's that guy. It's a music guy that does it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know
Who was there?
You know what I'm talking about? Your boy Kevin O'Leary.
Oh, of course he was there. What else? The guy's there all the time.
He was chilling with Logan Paul, and he had
I saw some sort of an Instagram thing there. He had his Jordan.
Card,
Fractor card, something like that there. Yeah, I don't know, man. These rich guys just keep getting richer and richer. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting poorer and poorer every day.
Well, that's typically how it goes, man.
Getting richer and richer, but I forget the guy's name. It's not Scooter Braun.
No, it's definitely not Scooter Braun.
He was probably there, but Oh, Michael Rubin.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah.
As soon as I looked at the chat, I knew. It's the white party there. Yeah. It's pretty. Actually, I didn't see. That was this weekend. I didn't see too many. I didn't see too many highlights of that on Instagram, on the gram there. How did you see it if you don't have the gram?
Snapchat.
Oh, you have Snapchat instead.
Yeah, I've always had it, man. I told you guys. There's
Michael Rubin.
about the origins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Fanatics. That's right. Yeah, it's not a music guy. Yeah, but there's always music guys that are there. The white party.
Central C, I know off the top of my head, bragged about going a couple years ago.
It's in Miami. Yeah, so it's.
Oh, is it in Miami? I thought it was in California.
I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's.
I think it's
Let's go. It's in somewhere warm.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Well, it's been warm as you know what around here. All right, so yeah, that's good, man. Good talks here so far. Yeah, I mean, I only have written down SpaceX. I mean, I think that's
DRAM is all
one
we got here.
One to watch. Yeah, DRAM. I like the Intel story today. We just looked at TSM of 3%, but there was a little bit of something going on there with Sailoring Company. I felt like I heard in my ear there, and that was starting to give Bitcoin a little bit of worry here. As I wonder if MSTR is
a little bit
having some issues there because the market's going one way and Bitcoin's kind of going taco over here. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with IBIT. Oh yeah, speaking about tacos, sorry, Mexico.
So what here it is, Strategy reports $8.32 billion Bitcoin loss, sells BTC to fund dividends.
Okay, so they're in there selling. So that's never going to be a problem. When you have the biggest, bull case right now, I guess, is trying to follow it on MSTR and see if they can hold fort and hold water. Because I thought they were a little underwater, apparently, with whatever the holdings were.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they bought a little bit too much up there north.
Average price is $75,000.
Okay, is that what they're saying right now? So yeah. That's the problem, needless to say. But it's Monday. We don't have any problems around here. We love Mondays because it's the start of a new week. That's 5 straight days now where you get to sit and open up the casino. Go over to Adara? Sure. I'm going to put this back in my ear and we're going to go over to Adara.
Yeah, we'll talk about this MSTR headline. There are a couple headlines I want to talk about, but MSTR here, strategy, as you can see, dropping. They usually release these updates around 8 a.m. on Monday. Now, today's update, they announced they sold some Bitcoin. They sold specifically 3,588 Bitcoin for roughly $216 million total last week. So between June 29th and July 5th, this reduces their holdings to still just shy of 850,000 Bitcoin, specifically 843,775 Bitcoin. They also did not sell any shares under their at the market program. They made no share repurchases. So that's the update here with MSTR. And it's also sending other Bitcoin and crypto-related stocks like IBIT sharply lower. Now, the other headline that I want to talk about is in the chip space. And I did put this headline on our screen, but it concerns Broadcom and one of the Mag 7s here, guys. Keep an eye on AVGO and Apple here as a SEC filing by Broadcom revealed that AVGO and AAPL are expanding their long-standing tech partnership through 2031. They also signed new multi-year agreements through which Broadcom will be developing and supplying a range of custom ASIC silicon products for multiple generations of Apple products. Now, I know, Sharif, you're always talking about this ASIC space here. How do you feel about this look here for AVGO and any potential concerns here that this could now threaten a deal between Apple and Intel?
Yeah, I don't think they're the same thing. So this is ASICs, right? The Intel deal with Apple is for CPUs. So we're not talking apples and apples over here, but Broadcom looking, of course, to diversify their portfolio away from some of the major hyperscalers that we've seen. Apple is not really considered a hyperscaler, guys. They've spent very little compared to the others. So good deal here, Adara. As you mentioned, the SEC filing, it's very brief. I was just reading through it. It's a 2031 deal up to 2031, and it's for custom ASICs. That's all I know.
Yeah, and I've noticed as well here with Broadcom, a lot of times when it gaps up pre-market, it doesn't necessarily hold that gap. I'm going to be doing actually some research on this to give you guys better stats, but just keep an eye out there, guys, for AVGO. Meta, though, also in focus. A couple different headlines for META. Which one of these do you want to get into this morning?
So this is the most important one here. Let's talk about this MTIA version 3. They have an India headline, less important there. Okay, because this is now brewing into possibly Samsung becoming a TSMC alternative, as TSMC and their supply constraints really, they're not really able to offer much in the way of supply for anybody else. So step in Samsung. We have a tie-up today with Meta. We have another possible tie-up with Anthropic. Apparently, they're also looking at this 2 nanometer. And we have already seen Tesla strike a big deal with Samsung here for their upcoming AI6 chip. So this is getting better and better here for Samsung from a chip designing perspective and a custom ASICs, not RAM. They're already killing it there. So it's put a little bit of pressure on Meta as well, because the fact that they had to outsource this to Samsung, kind of speaks a little bit to their own internal development problems. And they have a bit of another issue. They have 6-month release cycles for these chips. So they're constantly putting their team under pressure to come up with something new. This is a bit of a risk, though, for Meta, as Samsung has had issues with their yield with the 2 nanometer and the 3 nanometer process in the past. It was publicly criticized for being suffered severe, highly publicized optimization instabilities. So this could be a little bit of a gamble here for Meta. But as I mentioned, I think that the biggest part of this story we need to see here is a possible competitor coming out of South Korea to Taiwan Semi.
Yeah, there's also potentially this MuseSpark update, as indicated by Alexander Wang, one of the leaders here of that Meta Superintelligence Labs. He posted on X in response to reports of this internal town hall with Zuckerberg on Thursday afternoon. Alexander Wang said that, these reports are real. Like, he basically acknowledged that these town hall and these comments very likely happened, but he did say there will be new updates to the MuseSpark AI model. And he also teased some coding-related updates. So, Joe, I know you've been pretty critical here of these Meta AI updates. How do you feel about this story potentially?
I mean, he can put all the updates he'd like. I don't know how much of a change it's going to have. It's just not a game changer, and he's too late, in my opinion, to the party for some of these tools. People are already integrated into ecosystems, and I'm referring to the Googles and the ChatGPTs, and also the Claude. Claude is just absolutely dominating the space right now with Cowork, Claude Code, and all the other features that it presents. I just don't know what Zuck's going to do, hence why I believe he had to start this cloud computing segment, because he just had a glut of compute and no one really using his products. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he may gain some ground, and there's that constant leapfrog within the space, but he's going to have to come out with something really good, and this superintelligence team is going to have to come out with something groundbreaking in order for people to really hop out of other ecosystems and hop into the Meta ecosystem.
I mean, there's that story also that came out that their restructuring wasn't that great, that they done. We saw that on Friday. I tried to take the short there, didn't work out, but that came out, and then came out that also, we had that Alexander Wang, which we're talking about right now. But yeah, that town hall just didn't come out then talking about how they were a little late on the AI. So I am surprised that it's up today, considering some of those memos were leaked and seemed to be a little more negative than I had hoped, obviously, as a Meta shareholder. But we're still doing okay. I mean, we still had that nice bump up to 620 there, and then it's just faded out the last couple of days. So we did get that nice little move higher there as they got into the cloud storage, selling of the cloud compute and whatnot. That was a good story, and now we're getting a little bit more here. Alexander Wang, social media, teasing an impending update, so the MuseSpark. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that update will give it a little bit of a bump there, but underneath the 50-period moving average, yeah, a little bit of a spark. But we'll wait. I don't, it's an interesting name because it's up today. It did have, I mean, this is kind of what we're talking about with some of that movement that happened there on Friday, where we were up to 608 and then, just didn't hold that story last week of the cloud computing. So that's a little disappointing. So now we try to work on a different story, and we'll see if that one can get back up to the upside. But I'm not in love with Meta at these prices, but I mean, hard to argue sort of with their, daily active users. There's just, I think it was more to what you were saying too, Joe, is that if they can figure it out, they do have enough users there. It's like that prediction market thing where they're looking at the prediction markets. If that's going to be a thing, now, obviously, I think they lost their way a little bit. Like, why is Meta looking at prediction markets, right? But, with the amount of viewers and, eyeballs they can put on their platform, I do think there's an advantage to Meta, and they just have to get it all figured out. And I guess we'll just have to wait to see what that next shoe to drop is there. But I don't know, a little bit disappointed.
But I think that's what he tried to do, right? Like, he's just chucking up Hail Marys at this point. It's like, hey man, we're spending all this money. How can we make some in return? Yeah. And that's where they threw a dart at the board, and they're like, all right, let's get into these predictions.
He brought in all those guys for a couple, tens of millions of dollars.
And hundreds.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And all those contracts, and now it doesn't seem like those might be working out.
Yeah, morale was low.
And they're all brought back in on the back of the shareholder, right? Because they're using, this capital that they have, and they haven't necessarily gone and raised any capital yet, so we'll have to see what winds up happening there. But talk about a major CapEx spender. I mean, Meta just continues to spend all that cash and without much to show for it. So we're going to have to wait to see what Meta brings. I mean, we're not too far away. We talked about this week coming into earnings season again. So, once the banks start coming through, then when does even Meta report? I was going to say that's kind of the next thing right here, because we always talk about PEs. Well, I mean, right now the market has just a great underpin underneath it. The fact of earnings. Earnings continues to be, something that we look forward to, and companies are still raising guidance. So there's Meta right now with an 18 forward PE and a current PE of just 21 right now. What I got to do is I got to find and go to news. I can't actually, let me go back to you guys because I can't remember where it actually shows the next release, but we'll figure that out for Meta. But anyways, Meta Platforms right now, 18 current forward PE, looks to be something interesting. I'm going to get their earnings release date, but we're going to go over to Joe for a look at options with the calls and put activity that he has spotted for you.
All right, guys, good morning. Let's take a look at some of the options activity from Thursday's session, I should say. We're going to kick things off with Palantir. A little bit of an up move here on the session. Now, what we really want to focus on is this $132 strike price. It's going to be expiring the 10th, guys, so by the end of the week. Now, the open interest at that level is relatively high. Speaking compared to all the other strike prices throughout that expiration cycle, or this specific expiration cycle, 12,600 contracts at that level with 11,400 open and closed. Now you can see the spread is a little bit wider than we typically see here on Palantir, but that's all right. That might tighten up after the open. What I do want us to focus on momentarily is the contract itself, but let's take a look at our Greeks first. So we're sitting on that 40 delta, right? Just due to the fact that we're closer to at the money with this specific strike price. Now, our delta exposure, relatively cool, and our at the money IV sitting around 49.4%. But what I really want us to focus on is that from late last month, guys, June 26th to be exact, this contract lost a lot of its value, and the majority of the volume actually kicked in on Wednesday and Thursday's session, okay, just before the long weekend. And then that's when you're seeing a nice return. We were sitting around $25, and then it did make a move up to $4.50 is where you would see the majority. But the issue being, if you were holding on to this contract since late last month or even earlier in the month, it's really hard to gain any of that value back just due to the fact that theta really diminished the value and chewed away at the actual options contract pricing. So that one dropped 70%. Keep that in mind, guys. A lot of these major pops, and when we do this segment in the morning, are from the near dated closer to the expiration. And that's why a lot of traders like to look at zero DTEs, is because that's when you can get that large amount of gain and you're not holding on to something where day by day you're losing a specific amount of value on that contract. All right, moving forward, Apple putting in a monster day with the news of 5 new iPhone models. Sharif messaging me, man, what's going on with this as it put in some big numbers, guys? We're going to be looking at this $310 strike price, once again expiring on the 10th. Now, open interest, 4,990 at that level, volume 21,000 at this $310 marker. Now we're sitting on a $25 spread, relatively wide. Don't forget, Apple is one of the more liquid options contracts out there, so you're going to see that spread really tighten up after the open. Now, as for the delta, guys, we're sitting around $45, and our gamma exposure, relatively cool. And this name never gets carried away with implied volatility, 25.3% off a substantial move on Friday. Now let's take a look at the contract itself, which is insane. And this is what I was talking about, the nearer dated expiration contracts, is where you really see that exponential growth, okay? So from Thursday, right out of the open, to just 15 minutes before the close, you get a staggering 542% within this specific contract, all right? So it's trading around $61 or 61 cents in options terms, and then closes around $3.90. So that's a big time return. Once again, you'd have to be getting in just at the open, put that marketable limit or that market on open order, and then sure enough, you'd be on your merry way. But it's hard to predict those things. Don't forget that, guys. It's not that easy, otherwise everyone would do it. But a lot of these major returns are coming on these nearer dated after the contract has lost the majority of its value, and that's when you can see those substantial returns. And don't forget, $61 is your premium paid, and that's your total risk on the trade. That's the most you can lose. It's not like shares. That's the power of options contract. Let's send it back to Sean.
You know, I like Apple. I mean, I've got Apple on the watch today. I mean, I think the fact that it's down is not super exciting to me. But I was actually thinking if we could break this 309. I mean, we saw it have a huge run, and we put it on the list on Friday, but we just didn't grab it there, and it would have been a beauty, man. I mean, it took off right off the open there through $300, took that 295, and that was sort of the past day's high. So previous day's high, we're gonna look to see if that can break again here today. Why not? You know, like you mentioned, there are a couple new models, good things happening there for Apple. Take a look at what the call action's doing now, trying to hold above $300. I like Apple today. I think there is something to trade here. You do have a low take in and around 305, 306-ish. So if that winds up holding, and then the next thing is upside. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing that we always talk about some of these names being a little too heavy and just can't get going, and meaning the fact is like there's too many traders already holding it. Maybe it doesn't have that much interest in it, but Apple didn't have any problems like that on Friday. So for me, Apple is something to look at. That is for sure. And I was actually just reading, it's in our note as well. Make sure you do grab that. The link is in the description there. You can get our note there. It's also talking about a data breach possibly here, but you know, the story on Friday was able to buy some of those chips and get a little bit different parts and pieces into their iPhone from China. So if they can get some different memory aspects going on, then maybe we don't see that $2,000 iPhone after all, because you know, the pieces of the puzzle will be a little bit cheaper. So we'll have to wait to see if Apple can figure that all out. But yeah, I really like the stock. I mean,
I highly doubt that that's going to be allowed, man.
You don't think they're going to be allowed to do that? No, I don't. I mean, that was just a rumor coming out there.
Yeah.
But you never know, man. I mean, I never thought, and I give big shout out to the United States getting their guy back for FIFA there. Trump makes a little bit of a call in. Next thing you know, the red card is no longer looked at. So maybe Apple can make a concession there as well with the White House and be able to get some action there. But to your point, it's China. So giving more money into China, probably not something that's that good. July 29th, I found there for Meta. So you're not, like I was saying, man, you're just a couple weeks away from getting more and more of these names to come through. And I think Apple...
banks start next week.
That's what I said. That's why I thought the banks were the 14th or something.
Yeah.
So they're starting to get ready to go very, very soon. So Trump greater than a red card. That is true. But yeah, nice move higher there. I heard the people in Belgium not super happy here today. That game's going to be a banger today as well. That's tonight at 8 p.m. Another great match.
I would say an orange card.
Scheduled, yeah, orange card. That's a good one. Another great match scheduled tonight, man. Belgium versus, and then Brazil yesterday. Like, there's so much happening.
Assassino, what happened? Brazil.
There's so much happening right now that some of these, it's amazing that Canada in their second, like they get to face South Africa and easily beat them. And then you get some teams getting knocked out like Portugal and Croatia, you know, that first round there. But now you're on to the round of 16 and then another round of 8. So it's going to be really exciting. It all wraps up pretty soon. I believe it's, do you know what the championship date is there, Sharif?
July 19th.
July 19th, okay. Because I was going to say 29th, but then when I looked at the thing, that looks way too long. So July 19th, we'll get that all wrapped up. And I believe it's at MetLife there in New York. So it should be a really exciting time there for whoever makes to the finals. And I think if the U.S. wins, I guess they got Argentina after that. I'll have to check the bracket because it's just some of these matches are just absolutely insane. Germany out of the World Cup.
Yeah, Germany's
Brazil, and then last night with Mexico, which is I kind of wanted Mexico to win just to see the party
exactly.
that they had last time. But the English are a well-traveled team as well. But that's the first time they've only lost 2 times
In Azteca.
And yeah, or even in Azteca too. And I think it's only like 3 or 4 times in Mexico proper anyways. And now all of a sudden there they go last night. It was a tough one.
It was a really
and they played a man
I thought that was
too.
the best game. Yeah, I know. I thought that was the best game of the tournament
Yeah,
so far.
it was a good game.
The Portugal game was good because there was a couple goals.
Yeah, and there was a lot of controversy there.
It was just the vibe in the stadium was pretty cool in the Azteca. It's just
man, the fact that they showed. And I think they were saying that stadium might be due for some renovations or something as well. So
Azteca, bro, they're saying it's the best stadium.
I know, but I think that they're also saying that some going because it's old.
It's Mexican.
Yeah, it's 87,000 people they had there.
That's crazy.
And I read yesterday the average ticket price was something like $4,000.
No way.
So do that math, and that's how much money FIFA and all this is bringing in for these competitions. Like I don't know, you'd pay $5,000 to go see a game?
No. I wouldn't even can I tell you something?
Yeah, MetLife is in New Jersey.
I personally like watching sports on TV because I can see the detail a little bit more, and I like the commentary, which you don't get obviously.
Yeah, but then you don't get to be in. I mean, Shreve was there.
There's other places, dude. Like where you get to be in the crowd.
Yeah, but that's the hype thing. You get to remember. It's more memorable, no? If you're there.
I'm okay with.
Depends. I guess if you're with your boys and you're having a good time spending at home and.
Like Leafs Game 7. Stanley Cup final, I wouldn't be paying that.
Well, it also wouldn't be $5,000.
It would be like 10, 15.
Yeah, it would be double or triple the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Because again, that was 87,000 people. You can only squish 20,000 into the ACC.
Yeah,
right? Or Scotiabank, I guess. All right, we've got Michael Noss over there. Halifax. I mean, there might have been more people in that stadium than there is in the population of Halifax over there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close.
Nah, probably not. All right, let's go back over. Oh, our coffee's arriving too. Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, brother.
All right, it's Michael Noss. I mean, let's find out. Let's see if Michael's been watching any soccer. Oh, here we go. Micron and Randy's favorite company, Ford. Micron and Ford signed strategic agreement to strengthen its long-term memory supply. What? Ford? Okay, Ford doing big deals right now. Ford got rid of their EV, their solid EV. They're not making any more Lightnings EVs. No, they're not. They stopped that. But there's a little jump up there with Ford. I guess Ford's playing that like the optionality, right? Get involved now and secure some of that.
When AV just takes over the car space, I really like where Elon's sitting because he's going to sell that software to everyone because eventually, this is how I feel strongly about this.
No one is going to be. I still got to pick you up in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Just send it to me, man.
Dude, I was using full self-drive again today. I'm getting lazy.
No one's going to drive, and Elon Musk is going to have the best technology to the point where it's just a software update, and all of these other legacy motor vehicles are going to have to pay him.
Well, that's the idea, right? I mean, Ford is also working with Volkswagen's working with Rivian, and they're getting, and Uber has a deal with NVDA. So they are trying to get some of these chips into it to make some of these cars a little more automated. That is for sure. And I do believe it is the thing of the future. I actually think he was pretty smart doing the $100 a month for the subscription model because now it just makes it so easy. Like I was never going to pay $11,000 to activate that.
Yeah, exactly.
In the car, but now that you just get.
But if you paid $11,000, you had it forever, though, right?
Yeah, I think there's certain rules there because even when I was at the Tesla dealership, they were like she had to switch over to a new Model Y because it was being the legacy of her. Full self-drive was being phased out.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know exactly how that works, but full self-drive I think was included. Like if you bought a Model Y way ago, then I think it might have been, was either included or relatively discounted. So they stopped that, and now it's just a subscription model. And yeah, I think because the $100 a month, if you have 2 cars, $200 a month. Like if you both had it, let's just say, it's $200 a month, $2,400 a year. You have that for 10 years. It's an extra $24,000 that they've put in their pocket, simply for activating a piece of software on the computer. So, Sean, why is that not a golden bracelet? Oh, this bracelet is made by my kid. This was a Father's Day present, and on this one is a different story. But all right, let's go back over. It's Michael Noss. You had to hear about all of our stories, but that's fine.
It's all right.
We wait for him, and it's been always great. This is one of our first, probably our first ever official weekly guest that we've had on for a couple. He's on twice a week.
Most consistent.
That's what I'm saying. Most consistent. It goes all the way back. It's Michael Noss. So we're really happy to have him on. Let's go back over the desk and figure out what Stats Edge is all about.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this topic today, but first we will welcome our friend Michael Noss over at StatJed, Michael Noss, CMT. How are you doing this morning, and how was your long weekend?
I'm doing great. My long weekend was fantastic. And yeah, I was thinking while Sean was talking about how long I've been on now, and it's got to be like 6 years now. It seems ancient, I guess. I guess we're all kind of getting a little grayer together.
With that in mind, we're going to take a look here over at the Dow, which is continuing to make new all-time highs now, well past the Dow being at 50,000. So this is, I understand you want to talk about all-time highs more generally here today.
Yeah, and it's because, like you mentioned, the Dow made an all-time high. I love the Dow 50K meme. I think that one's going to be sticking around in at least our circles for a while. But every time, we hit all-time highs, I hear the same thing of, right, oh, I can't buy it up here. I need to wait for a pullback, all of that kind of stuff. And, none of this obviously advice, but I'm just going to show you guys what happens if you just buy new all-time highs. And sometimes things can be a little bit easier than you think, right? So if you're sitting there saying, oh, I need a pullback, no one knows what's going to happen next, but the stats say maybe you just buy the all-time high. So the first kind of slide I have here just shows just basically what happens a year out if you buy an all-time high versus if you just buy any random day. You just pick a random day and you buy there and you hold for a year. And this goes all the way back to 1988. So it's a lot of data in here. And a year from there, you get roughly a 14% return buying an all-time high versus around the 11 to 10% that the S&P 500 returns over that period of time. And you're up about 88% of the time a year later, with 83 being on some sort of random day. So we know the market generally goes up, and we have way more up years than down. But it just shows that not only are you beating on percentage of being correct if you're buying all-time highs, but you're also almost 50% more gains. And you show this stat to someone, and that person who is going to talk about, hey, I need to always wait for a pullback. Well, often the pullback might never come with some stats we have a little bit later there. So next slide is just kind of showing that, 2 years after, it's kind of even better, right? So we have one stat here that's got what happens 1 month after, and you're up 2%, in 6 months, 5%, in 1 year is that, that 9-ish, 10-ish%. And then in 2 years, you're up roughly 20%, which is just showing that new all-time highs aren't generally speaking top. And this next slide, I think, kind of hammers that in, where it shows that 30% of them became floors, which means you never dropped 5% or more below that price ever again in the history of mankind. So this is that 1 in 3 chance that all-time high is the lowest price that you can ever get for the market. And I think this last chart just really hammers it home, where this is just a really zoomed out chart of the market. And every one of those orange dots are new all-time highs. And you can see that they cluster together, right? We have all-time highs, beget all-time highs, beget all-time highs. And I know this is kind of one of those things that's a little bit basic when you think about it, and it makes a whole lot of sense. But there's a lot of people out there that they're very worried about an all-time high being an absolute top, and I don't want to buy the top. And I just wanted to come in and say the stats say that it's not a top, and it could be, right? Every top has to start with an all-time high. It has to be the case. But you're more likely to just get more all-time highs, which is one of the simplest trading strategies you can do that seems to outperform the market, is if you have money to deploy, instead of waiting for a pullback, waiting for a bear market, knowing that there's kind of a 1 in 3 chance that all-time high will never be revisited ever again, right? Sometimes you just got to hold your nose and buy. And I know us as traders, especially, that's a little bit hard because, if we are trading, we're always trying to get, good prices and sell at other prices. But it just doesn't make sense based off the math if you're always waiting for a giant crash or a correction to do that. Because, again, most of the time, it looks like, based off the data, that you're going to just miss the overall trend.
So I kind of addressed this with your last comment, but I do have a question further because, from a trading perspective, and I find, personally, and other traders, I'm sure as well, even just buying near the breakout of an intraday high, on an intraday perspective, can seem scary, let alone an all-time high in a wider standpoint. So I guess with that in mind here, do you have any technical wisdom in terms of maybe setting, not advice, but more like kind of wisdom or rules for setting stops in a situation where you are buying at or near these highs?
I think just an ATR-based trailing stop works, right? So ATR just being how much does the stock move for whatever time frame you're looking at. This same philosophy could be, 5-minute charts or 1-minute charts or weekly charts or whatever it is, and you say, okay, how much do we normally move? Say it normally moves $1 a day. Well, a trailing stop of like $3 would make sense. And the beauty of ATR is it will adjust the position. But the thing that you're talking about is the reason why I think it still works is because it's painful to do. And that, you're going to be wrong, because if 30% of the time that all-time high is a floor, 60% of the time it's not. So 60% of the time at some point the market draws down lower than that all-time highs. But that's what I think makes the numbers work, is that if the trade was easy and had a super high win rate and you made money all the time, those kind of trades get kind of arbitraged out of the market. It's these painful trades that don't make you feel good that when you take them, those are usually the ones that work out the best in the long run.
And just, I guess, a question as well, too, as someone who's interested in data. This research, these are just S&P 500 all-time highs, or okay?
Yeah, so I did on the S&P 500 simply because it goes back the longest. The Dow, if you're using ETFs and things like that, it gets a little bit squirrely. But yeah, the S&P 500 is one of the oldest and easily to get data, I guess, sectors out there.
Yeah, fair point, and thank you for clarifying that. And thanks again to Michael Noss, CMT. You can find him on social media, Michael Noss, CMT. You can also find him on this show, 8:30 a.m., Monday and Friday. So we'll see you in a couple days, Mr. Noss. Thank you again.
Have a great weekend, or great week, guys.
Thank you as well.
Fantastic stuff, as always, by Mr. Michael Noss. Make sure you guys join us Monday morning, 8:30 sharp, and Friday mornings, 8:30 sharp as well. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of the analyst actions here this morning. We're going to kick things off with some downgrades. At the top of our list here, we have Datadog down 1.6%, going from an outperform to a market perform, but we're increasing our price target to $226. That's up from $180 at Bernstein. Now, Delta Airlines also getting the downgrade, guys. We're down 0.5%, going from a strong buy to an outperform, but we're also going to increase the price target here to $104. That's up from $80 at Raymond James. Now, Pfizer also getting the downgrade here, down approximately 0.33%, going from a buy to a hold, and a $28 price target. That is down from $32 from HSBC. Now, Huntington Bank getting the downgrade as well, 0.75% to the south side, buy to a hold with a $19 price target. That is down from $21 at Jefferies. Moving forward, let's take a look at some more positive things. Market upgrades, guys. SentinelOne up 1 1/5 here today, going from a sector perform to an outperform with a $23.50 price target. Scotiabank giving them that nod. Now, as for T-Mobile, you're up 1.8%, going from a neutral to a buy, and a $220 price target by B of A. Now, Checkpoint Technologies here up 0.5%, going from a sector perform to an outperform, $185 price target from Scotiabank, and then OKTA Okta up 1 1/3, going from a sector perform to an outperform as well, with a $165 price target. Scotiabank giving multiple nods this morning. Let's send it back to Shad.
Yeah, that Okta, wow, OKTA there. I was just looking at that one. I mean, this was a former Kramer fave here, Okta, as they work on, I believe it's the data about your privacy data and things like that. But yeah, wow, what a move for Okta. I mean, congratulations to anybody who has this name. What a breakout there off that 130 mark, spiked up into 140. That's that past high. We hit it. Fell back in, looks like, I mean, these are the kind of trades like when you start to base out like that, and then you start to, bump through, get through that 125 again, that key level right there. So Okta definitely on the move higher right there, a name that we don't talk about very often. There it goes on the upgrade, and just a great move there for OKTA. It looks like Okta wants to get a little bit higher. We do want to acknowledge today everybody that's here on TikTok. So we want to thank everybody for watching us on TikTok. And we do have we have a consolidated feed here of all of the chats, and there it is right there. What's up to way up there on TikTok? He's talking about Wolf going parabolic. right now on some sort of an Anthropic deal. So we say shout out to you over there on TikTok. And here's Wolf right now, Wolf Speed. So this is a good name. We've looked at this before. I mean, TeraWolf, sorry, not Wolf Speed. TeraWolf coming back in there. So, you know, they had a huge run. This was a name that one of my buddies at hockey was talking to me about for a while. And he was talking about this. I mean, it's broken out. This was, got to go back a little bit there, back into April, beginning of the summer. But yeah, that break from 18 got us to $28 right there. Of course, I haven't seen this individual since, probably asking me if I bought it or sold it or whatever. But that was coming right back into $21 again. And then there's a nice little move higher one more time there for Wolf. So we want to say a big shout out to there. And there it is, another one from TikTok, ONDS. To the moon. So ONDS right here. Yeah, there it is right there. Ondas did also, we do want to acknowledge Adam. So we will talk about some of those names as well. Just want to get some of these TikTok viewers because we want to thank everybody for joining us on all of our streams, including TikTok today. Ondas announced that it has struck an agreement to acquire an autonomous aircraft maker, Design. DZYNE, pretty cool name, DZYNE, Design. Technologies in an $876 million cash and stock deal. The acquisition strengthens Ondas defense and drone portfolio. I did see AVAV starting. AVAV's had a horrendous little run, but they had a great earnings and back up to 190. So AVAV also catches a deal today. The company also raised its revenue outlook to $525 million this year, and Design is expected to have about $200 in that number as well. So there's ONDS on a little bit of an acquisition today. So thank you to everybody on TikTok for bringing that up as well. But yeah, QTex. This was a name from last week, wasn't it? Didn't we look at QTex a little bit there? Another quantum name. So the thing about quantum is, Adam, I actually do think that it's about time to get involved in some quantum names again. You know, like right now we have the AI boon. I think after this happens, and not that it's a bubble or anything like that, but quantum can go again as well. So just looking at some of the quantum names, QBTS, IonQ, some of these other names that keep on, you know, kicking out to us. I feel like they're starting to think about going. I don't, you know, again, you're barcoding here. Another name would be IonQ to potentially go, you know. Neil and I talk about, you know, the dividend payer international business machines. That could be one that eventually gets going. But, you know, maybe I'll hold off on it. I thought we were still above the 50 period, but there's the 200 now, Joe.
Yeah.
So just looking at it, I mean, you know, that's why I like to have stocks that are at 200 period moving average. Wondering about quantum. I still think it's early days.
Yeah, it's very.
But if you don't get things early, then you get them late, you know, and sometimes getting things on the back end.
The run's pretty much already
But why
done.
bother quantum if you can still do DRAM and you can still do memory stocks? I mean, I don't think that story's over yet either.
But like you said, man, nothing wrong with a light little dabble here in some of the names like RGTI, the names that are a part of that $2 billion funding round from the Trump administration.
I mean, that's why I like quantum for IBM.
Right. Well, IBM getting half of it, $1 billion, right? And then you've seen the trickle down with, I believe, a couple other ones, RGTI getting $100 million.
I'm just going to confirm what Adam's saying here. This is LHSW, and we want to thank Joe. Tomorrow you'll be seeing the man, the myth, the legend himself, Neil, will be back in the building tomorrow, as far as we know. I think he just took today off. He's back from London, England. We want to say shout out to everybody over there. So, Adam, I'm seeing a float right now on L. Just not to say that what you have is wrong. This number is, I don't know, 1.1 million. I'm seeing you mark down 150, but the short float at the end of the day is what we're looking at anyways. 30% short on this name, LHSW. Is that what we're talking about here? LHSW, yeah. So Lian Seoul International Group. The story, did I just see a story on this one? This might also be on our watch list.
42 million shares traded this morning.
Yeah, 40. So at the end of the day, man, you nailed that right there, Adam, with 42 million shares. No, 25 million shares traded.
Today?
Yeah.
It has 42 million.
Okay.
Don't forget data's, it's tracked different, right? That doesn't start till 6 a.m.
You're right. So, yeah, so right now, 25 million on our system, 42 million proper right there, but 190% to the upside there. LHSW. Oh, it is on our, I thought I saw it on our list. Yeah, here it is. Here, let me call this out. And guys, you have to, if you're not part of our watch list, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Sharif's morning note is absolutely fantastic if you want to dig a little bit deeper into things. But Adair puts out this, and here it is. There's a Chinese Oh yeah, here it is, and a float of. We still have the 150,000 shares as well. So Chinese tech play. So there might be something wrapped up with options or optionality there on some shares. So we have written down 150,000 as well. But 14% short float. We had 30% the other way. So a couple numbers need to be verified here. But yeah, there it is right now. Chinese tech play rolling around here. And thank you, Adam James, for bringing that up to us as well. LHSW, definitely worth grabbing that watch list for these information. And there it goes, man, trying to hold out $5. Another Chinese sort of name trying to go offside here.
Finally.
Uh-oh. Oh, you're looking for the breakfast? What do we got over there? Spring rolls? After all of that, it's spring rolls.
You don't like?
No. I know. Hey, look, man, they're changing it up. They've had dumplings before, have been really nice. Spring rolls have been nice.
I like this. We don't get them often, but the scallion pancakes.
Those pancakes. We got those one
thanks,
time.
Brother. I appreciate it.
There it is.
I thought they were really good.
The banana today. Ooh, banana.
Oh, anyone want to switch?
You a fan of the spring rolls there? Yes. Oh, yeah. Randy is.
Over under 5.5 spring rolls for Randy today.
Over.
Yeah.
Already over. Randy, we had the inside track. He's already saying over right there. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna have the consolidated feed up for TikTok and for YouTube. So if you have any messages at all, let us know. We'll answer them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
On both programs here today for sure.
Do we see is my boy Jesse in the chat yet again?
I don't know. I haven't noticed anybody there. We want to say here. Let's do a little bit.
Yeah, do it.
Let's do a little bit of a roll.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not my Stream Deck open. Oh no, we got to open up Stream Deck. We got to go back to Stream Deck there because there's like, what the hell? Don't we have some sort of a show happening right here? Yeah. But right now, we've got this to happen. It's roll call. Let's do a little quickly just to say who is here today and who is not. We got Mike Peter Ryder. He's always here. Hey, where are my TikTok fans in here right now? We got to say what's up to you. Jack of Art is here. Big 40 Nephew. Brown Lightning. I mean, all these guys are all the same. 40, RQN Money in there as well. What's up to Edgar's in here? Juan Padilla's here.
Edgar.
Big 40 Nephew. There it is. Flip is from TikTok. Flip is saying, yo, what's up, Riverwood Trader? He's from TikTok as well. Medical Marijuana. We see him here. There's TX Jet Fan. You're always telling me.
Nimitz in the chat.
Nimitz in the chat as well. Okay. Yeah, Robert Lewis is here. They're all here. Cryptic Coffee is up in here. Steven Jackson from TikTok says hello as well. Jack of Art. People, Sherlock is here from TikTok. Everybody's here today.
No, Jesse,
so
did you see Blicky? Oh, Blicky's in the chat.
Blicky in there too. Yeah, man. Everybody. Someone here. Midwest Cannabis.
Yeah.
The best cannabis in town, according to Midwest Cannabis, is in the Midwest, apparently.
Okay.
So
it's still illegal over there.
Man, that's why it's the best.
Yeah.
Hey, man. The minute the legal market happens there. You're wrong, Joe.
Bro,
how dare you?
Bro, Sharif giving me mad heat. I'm like, dude, listen, I don't shoot. Hey, man.
Sharif's just calling you like he sees it.
Yeah.
Sharif wants accurate reporting.
Yeah. Well, man, apparently.
I don't have as high standards as Sharif.
Yeah.
I let you get away with it.
Yeah, I know.
Sharif's not letting you get away with anything over there.
Man, I was just like, hey, man, yeah.
He's misleading a lot of people these days, this Joe guy over here.
Wow.
But not misleading on your Walmart call. That was a nice one you mentioned.
Yeah, what is up, Wally's World?
110, 111?
Yeah.
So that's a nice little bump up
there
from Friday. We'll see if Wally's World can get going there. No medical marijuana is sold in Wally's World as far as I know.
Not yet. That'd be a good idea.
Why not? Why can't it be in the pharmacies if it's legal?
You know what I said to Sharif? How long until you can grab, how long until we see pre-rolls at the gas station? It's a crazy conversation, but
yeah, no,
I
feel like they're already there, but I guess they're not.
They're not. They're definitely not. I mean,
Why not?
You can buy a drink, but
I went at 7-Eleven right now. Beer is cheaper than Slurpees. To me, that there's something a little off.
Yeah, obviously.
But to each their own. Right there. But grab a cold one of any kind that you're preferring there. Maybe a little early. It's only 9 a.m.
Yeah.
But it's wine o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's go back over to the desk and see what's going on up there.
Yeah, I think that beer to Slurpee pricing probably depends on which beer and which Slurpee you're buying. I did go to Sev last week, and I think the Slurpees are still slightly cheaper than the beer. But again, that's like if you get like a medium size. So take that as you will. Let's take a look here, though, at NVIDIA this morning. I get a couple minutes to go before the rundown, so we'll take a look at one more stock here, send it back to the guys before we get into the 5 biggest stories on watch today. NVDA here, semi-analysis coming out here, but a report of certain NVIDIA availability here.
Yeah, it's to do with their racks, Adira. And they had this Kyber NVL 144 rack that's going to be delayed substantially from 27 to 28. And look, this was a very, very hard thing to design. If you know anything about printed circuit boards, PCBs, you know that they stack them on top of each other. And this one was 78 layers. Very, very hard technical challenge to achieve. And they anticipated that they were going to have this technical challenge. So you know what they did? They made a backup one, but the hyperscalers hated the backup one. It was hard to connect. There was a lot of water required. It was irregularly shaped, so it couldn't fit with everything nice and fit there in the server room. So they made them cancel it. So even though they did anticipate this was going to be a bit of a problem, but also this is not just a PCB problem. It ends up finding its way into the chipset as well, because they had to design the Vera chip to account for the lack of this printed circuit board. So they had to actually make physical changes to the actual Vera chip to kind of make it work with the old PCBs. So a bit of a delay here for NVIDIA, but something tells me, they may be able to work around this, Adair.
NVDA, is this one in focus for you guys today?
So okay, so a big gulp right now. This is not even a Slurpee. Okay. A Slurpee right here is $2.50. You can see $2.50.
Yeah.
A beer is $2.39, and I don't understand. And this is a 21-ounce Slurpee, so I don't know what size that is exactly, but $2.50 right there, and a big gulp is $2.69. So there you go. So I just to show you, but it's funny because you talked about your, can you buy weed at a grocery store? I do think it's inevitable if we're starting to do things like that. I mean, I'm going to buy any, but it's just... Not that you're going to buy it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The edibles, right? No, but coming right in here, NVIDIA coming through. I don't know. What do you think about NVIDIA these days?
It's tough. I like the stock. Yeah, obviously, I do like the stock. It's unfortunate that it hasn't been performing. You would expect the most valuable company on the planet to be a little bit better of a performer. But I believe there's a couple of headwinds in this name, for this name. That is, now we have the custom ASICs effect, and then also just what's going on with memory, just the cost of it. So for me personally, I just hope that it doesn't fall into the realm of Microsoft 2.0, and it's really heavily dependent on how much these hyperscalers are going to be spending. And if they're starting to diversify, like Meta signing a new deal, and then you also have other companies signing in with Broadcom and the Marvells of the world, you're starting to see this name, I'm not going to call it struggle, but at where we're currently sitting at right now, you're still down 18% off of the all-time high, right? So, I mean, it's not the prettiest of price action. And we went through lengthy consolidations already, and we broke out for a month or so, but then we're just right back into the chop zone. And I think that's going to be the narrative for this name. This is an ugly pattern, regardless of this being support or not. I just have the hunch that there's going to be some more downside here to come for NVDA.
Yeah, I was going to say the same kind of thing, that it's hard to say that we like the stock right here at these prices. But I like the stock for what it means. I mean, I think it's, the leader as far as we talk about this chip game and where it's going, but potentially, when you have the best chips in the game, maybe it's too expensive. And are they able to justify some of that price moving forward? Have a lot of these sort of the CapEx already gone towards some of their older chips, the Blackwells and all that kind of stuff? And is there going to be enough money left over? Is the CapEx going to continue to be there for NVIDIA and for their price targets? And if people are basing NVIDIA price targets, $240 upgrade based on this much earnings, this much power, blah, blah, blah. If they don't get those back orders filled, or potentially some of the CapEx slows down, then where does that leave NVIDIA right now? We heard about Intel, TSM. I mean, there's a lot of these fabs that are putting out more and more chips, and the TPUs from Google becoming more and more effective as well. And then Meta, we talked about some of their deals. I mean, our watch list is sort of littered with AI stories, and NVIDIA just kind of sitting there saying, yeah, we're still here, but maybe just not as much interest in this name anymore. And a little nervous about it, man. And we like the stock, but I don't like the price action.
I don't like the price action.
It keeps on making these higher lows. Like when we keep seeing in here, like we've gotten a recent high, and then it keeps coming back in, and now you're underneath the 50-period moving average. It just doesn't look super attractive. Like, I don't know. But I don't want to sell it.
No, I wouldn't. I personally, I think just because they just have so much, you see
it doesn't
them
pay you
increase
to
it.
hold either. It's what 25-cent dividend.
Yeah, they increased it, right? They don't pay you to
From
hold.
one
But I
cent to
think that
25
narrative might change a little bit, Katina, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, think about it. The Dow Jones hit all-time highs.
Yeah, well, yeah, easily.
On Thursday. Yeah, on Thursday. The IWM only 1% or so off. And same thing with the SPY. Excuse me, the Nasdaq has been the worst performer. And it's led by these heavy market capitalization names. Like the Broadcom's down, I believe it's like almost 30% off of the highs here, Katina, man.
Yeah,
like,
some of those names, ARMS, the Marvells.
Yeah, like,
world.
but like, I mean, think about it. When Broadcom, at the lows, it was down 27%. Like, at one point, Broadcom was number 8 or 9 in the $1 trillion club. Now you have like 15, 16 names that are a part of this.
And then we've got some air coming out of this trade too, because SK Hynix is coming.
Yeah,
so now all of a sudden there's only
what I was
there's only so much of the pie that every trader is going to want to get. Are they going to rotate out of NVDA?
Right. So the cost be 50% of it is literally SK Hynix
already.
and Samsung. So I was watching this video of Bloomberg Original on South Korea and how there's 51 million people in South Korea. 14 million people in the country are retail investors, and they're buying these leveraged products.
What, because they just looked at the amount of accounts that are open? Is that what?
Yeah. So, but it's like what they were getting at is that a lot of the average people, compared to what we'd see from a per capita standpoint here, a lot of the people in South Korea are a retail investor, and that's what's really driven this parabolic move.
1 in 4.
Right? Every 1 in 4 people are day trading or trading.
Or have a trading account.
Trading account.
Did it say how active they were, actually? That'd be interesting.
Well, more active as of late. So they're just putting this whole SK Hynix Samsung rally on the back of the retail investor, pretty much, which is absolutely insane.
I mean, that's great, but eventually retail ends, it might end poorly because retail will run out of money.
Exactly.
And then the stock doesn't get supported anymore. We can look at AMC, we can look at GameStop, some of those examples of when retail sort of slows down. But that can keep going for a very, very long time.
Very long time.
That is for
sure.
Like
DRAM's up 7%, almost another 8% here today.
Every day we come in, you watch out for that DRAM, it seems like, or the SOX-L seems to be going.
And then that leads to the next question. When SK Hynix comes to our market anyways, like you get it via the ADR, what is that going to mean? The ADS? Oh, okay, that makes sense, ADS. So what is that going to mean for the actual underlying asset itself? Because you're just going to have so much more volume step in here.
We do want to give a big shout. We're getting some super chats there. Thank you to Bravely as well. Thank you to Peter there on TikTok as well, as we continue to. And again, we have a consolidated chat feed. So every single person that puts something in TikTok or into YouTube, we see it 100%. So we want to thank Bravely over there, as well as Peter and some of the other people there. We've gotten some good ones from Rusta here on YouTube and Adam James Abrond as well. So thank you to everybody who's participating. A big shout out to everybody on TikTok today as well. Thanks for watching, and let's get that stream going. That is for sure. MSS is another name here that we got super chatted. We want to thank you for that one. Pulling right back into the 200 period moving average. Another one moving around today, MSSS. Just going to quickly have a quick look. I mean, super chat, we got to try to look it up for you. Maison Solutions, another name, I believe, on our watch list there today as well. So you can go have a double check on Maison Solutions right now with a float of 2.8 million. It's already done 13 million, and we have a short float now of 5%. Probably a little off base there, a little higher. But yeah, make sure you do grab our watch list, grab everything. Thank you to everybody there in TikTok. And here, I was going to show you what this looks like. I want to big shout out to Fabian. So everybody that's in here, see, there's a lot of YouTube talk, and then you scroll up and you see a little bit of TikTok action over here. So what's up to Facultas Agendi says good morning, and we say happy morning and good day to you as well. And a shout out to everybody watching us worldwide. And there's another one, Bravely. Thank you so much for your participation as well.
Oh wow, LHSW. I know we're we got to get into the rundown here, but that just went absolutely insane. $5 all the way up to $7.50. And
again, Adam James brought this to us. It's on our watch list there today. A Chinese name going hard right here early. Only up 280%. Joe, why didn't you tell me to buy this name on Friday?
I know, man.
Joe, it's up 300%.
You could have been.
I thought we had, Wilson Katina Capital over here.
Well, I was gonna ask you. You didn't send out the email?
No, because I'm doing the mega cap names.
Oh, okay.
You got to focus on where can we get some more value
might have to bring
other than dividends.
We might have to bring on Sharif here.
I know, but I asked him he's too expensive. But we've already got Adara's already pushing our budget on the analyst side.
Oh, wow.
So Sharif maybe you want to add a small cap aspect to
why not, man? We're all about the cash, man.
Okay, so then Sharif, why don't you tell us about this 300% mover in LHSW, Prestige Worldwide.
We're going worldwide.
Right here, boats and hoes. 7% right now. Step Brothers.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Come on.
You came out with a new movie, apparently. I don't know.
Oh yeah. There's a new Will Ferrell movie. He's a golfer or something like that.
Yeah, he's a golfer.
Oh, I have to see that. That is one that I have to see. A little disappointed with Adam Sandler's number 2 there, Happy Gilmore 2.
I wouldn't even.
That was good. It was fine, but you know what are you gonna do for a? Anyways, that was golf. And then Owen Wilson has a golf one on Apple.
Wilson? What was that war movie Owen Wilson was
I don't know.
Horrible.
Who knows, man? Horrible war movie. Yeah. All right, well, hey, the only thing horrible here is us, maybe. Let's go back over to the desk. We're going to get the sticky note published very, very soon. Debating adding Palantir to it. We have a watch list going right now. I think LHSW might have to be added here to the watch list. Let's go back to the desk and figure out what's going on aforementioned watch list.
All right, guys, where we closed out 744.80s, where we closed out on Thursday on the trading shortened week. We're above that level, above 745. So let's just say, for the sake of example, we defended that 745 level. Now we're looking at 750 as resistance. And we got pretty close. We got up to 748 and change, currently a little bit below 748. So our first level of resistance, R1, 750. If we start selling off Adara, Thursday's closing print as support.
Yeah, that aforementioned LHSW is on our free Trader TV Live watch list, along with a lot of other stocks today. It's a lot of tech-related names. But if you also want to know what's happening when, who's reporting, if there are earnings reports that day, you can find all of that info on the free Trader TV Live watch list. Use that link to subscribe. You can also find it in the description to this video wherever you're watching it. Definitely available as well on YouTube here. Let's talk about a sector that's certainly going to be on watch. These names got hit pretty hard last week, but Micron, SanDisk, WDC, Seagate, and all these memory stocks in focus as SK Hynix set to make its U.S. debut on Friday.
Ready to issue 28.1 billion American depository shares, ADSs, under ticker SKHY, will be on Friday, June the 10th. The company will hold 20% of the new issuance, and that is because they have to comply with South Korean corporate law, and that dictates that they actually hold about 20% absolute corporate ownership of the company. So the new shares, 17.79 million shares, those are being issued, and that was restricted to about 2.5% of the existing outstanding shares in South Korea, so that they were legally obligated to keep it below a certain float. But to prevent, as you were talking about, Joseph, the importance of retail traders, especially in that country, to prevent them being kind of boxed out, they engineered a unique 10-to-1 conversion ratio. So 10 ADSs is going to represent one common share price-wise on the Seoul exchange, and this kind of maps out the individual trading price to be about roughly 158 to 166 bucks. We don't know exactly what it's going to be quite yet, but when you do the math, and based on the law there, that's where we should expect it. So that's the first thing. Second thing, sorry. The third thing is here, we know that they got hit pretty hard on the Korean exchange, and that's because traders and investors there found out they had to dilute the share pool, obviously, to issue these ADSs. So we've already had a bit of a correction through that. And then listen to this, guys. We always want to do read-throughs, right? Who's going to stand to benefit from this new money coming into the country? And I got one ticker for you here. Full disclosure, invested in this name, ASML. Why? So the actual F1 here by SK Hynix discloses a highly restrictive, legally contracted equipment pipeline. So a major block of the capital that's being raised here is earmarked to purchase their ASML's EUV machines, extreme ultraviolet lithography, with a contract setting a strict, unyielding factory delivery and cash disbursement schedule, which goes all the way into December 2027. So a lot of this money that's being raised earmarked for ASML.
Yeah, this whole sector here, memory, is going to be on watch all week. I also want to let you guys know, at 9:30 a.m., President Trump set to speak at the Trump Accounts official launch event. Now, I mentioned this because, A, we know that his comments can move the market, and B, at the last event for this Trump Accounts, Dell actually rallied after he mentioned and told people to buy a Dell for the first of 2 times he's made that type of comment. So just be aware here, guys. He'll be at 9:30 a.m., and I'll be here giving you guys comments. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, this is just minting multiple and probably an insane amount of millionaires here, Katina, man.
Which
this
stock?
is out past, this isn't even a stock. This is a whole index here.
Oh, well, it's 2 stocks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's 2 stocks pretty much. 306%, outpacing anything else on the planet, any other market on the planet. It's absolutely insane. Now, I'm going to take I don't know if this is going to be a hot take, but I'm going to take the opposite side of things here. I think this is absolutely disastrous for the South Koreans, especially if you've been trading this every day and you just pretty much just buy it, allow it to appreciate throughout the intraday session, and then at the end of the day, you're just walking away positive. Now you're having a dilution. Now you're getting more hands involved, and the American market's going to start to get involved a lot more. I don't think that's good. I think it's going to add a lot more chop within this name specifically. Obviously, Samsung and SK Hynix. SK Hynix, obviously, the one that's getting diluted. And that's where I stand on that. I don't think it's the best thing. I know Obi talks about Blue Ocean quite often. But I think where it's really unique is that you have less participants. Less participants means less opinions and makes things a little bit easier to go with the flow. I think with this dilution, it's going to cause a little bit of a chop fest here in some of these names.
Man, watching this LHSW is still moving around here. We're just getting a little pop up, and are we gonna talk about SpaceX soon? Yeah, coming up soon. That just got another pop. We're waiting for 160 long. The sticky note is now out. Yeah, look, I mean, SK Hynix. I think the ASML tie-up is pretty cool there. I didn't realize that, so it's great to have Sharif mentioning the ASML tie-up there with SK Hynix. And ASML's actually gotten hit just a little bit over the last couple of days, and it was just 3 days off of all-time high level of $2,000 and just bumped its head a little bit there off $2,000 and fell back into 1,800. Wow, can you believe that? Like, you go from $2,000 back to 1,800 bucks. You basically fall, that 10% quickly and then right back up. It was kind of like what I was saying to Joe. I felt that maybe missed the boat on Intel. Then Joe's like, come on, man, it's only up a couple points. So yeah, maybe we did miss the boat on the very lows there of Intel from 117, but nice move higher there. We're going to talk about semis coming up, but yeah, I don't have much to add to the SK Hynix other than the fact that we saw, and that's why I went over to SpaceX. There's going to be a bunch of different bending spoons was another IPO that we could look at that held that 36 bucks would be a key area, and that's where we are again here today for BSP. So yeah, I just think moving forward here into this whole realm of, there's already been $251 billion or something worth of IPOs this year, and we still wait for Anthropic and OpenAI, and then now we get SK Hynix, and we're getting a few other names. I think there's even one
today. We might not even get OpenAI this year.
We're probably not going to get it this year, no. But that's still on the burner there, so we should be able to get it. What it does is just, and I think you mentioned too, it just sucks up a lot of the buying power of a lot of these traders, right? There's only so many names that, like, if I only have 10 grand to throw into the market and I put 5 of it into SpaceX, well, that's 5 less that I could put into the Microns or whatever else gets going, right? And a lot of retail traders involved in ETFs, in IPOs. Well, I'm hearing right now that MicroStrategy is still, getting to the low side here. So just be careful with MicroStrategy as it's moving a little more dramatically than Bitcoin, right? Yeah. I mean, with some of their financial dealings going on, they're having to sell to raise more capital. So yeah, they're apparently underwater as well with their Bitcoin holdings. You mentioned in the 70s right now is what they're looking at, and it's down to 62 grand. So MSTR having a rough ride and continues
very rough
a little lower.
And the issue was, it was a couple of quarters ago, he reported, I know we're going to head over to the next story here momentarily, but he had a projection of Bitcoin at $150,000, and that's what he based his guidance off of, and it's just not there. So it was absolutely disastrous for the name.
I just want to give a shout out to user 5930540849822 from TikTok. saying here's a name right now, Sidhu. Is primed to get ready to go. And I think that, you know, we were talking a little bit about SpaceX, but again, a shout out to all of our friends here on TikTok. Here's another one from Gold Trading Pro. If you're running at a loss, join this guy's Telegram. Yeah, be careful with joining anybody's Telegram. We don't support anything like that here on the show, but hey man, the chat is your place to play. But there it is, nice downside move for Sidious. And again, another name there. We know Obi was talking about this name earlier this year as well. He's probably he must be underwater on it as well because it was up here. But another name that can go in the space, SIDU, and look where it is, man. You might be right there from TikTok. This is $2.50. Nice upside push here off the 200 period. Could be there for Sidhu. So SIDU. Let's go back over to the desk.
Let's take a look here at some of these semiconductor names. A couple different catalysts in this space, but one that actually came out earlier that I just want to mention here is SEC filing revealing that Broadcom and Apple are going to be expanding their collaboration through 2031, specifically with ASIC product development. This sector, though, lots of different stocks, lots of different stories.
Absolutely, Adira. Yeah, good look here for Broadcom to expand this partnership with Apple. We'll have to see exactly how Apple plans on deploying these, whether they're going to be data center related or they're going to have some other uses not reported in this story is Apple's immediate use for these chips. But we also have AMD throwing their weight behind a Japanese autonomous driving startup called Turing, very small company, but the company is now using AMD's GPUs for about 10% of its AI training workload. AMD investing in the company as well, so possibly here showing some intentions that they could be looking to challenge NVIDIA's autonomous driving systems. We've seen NVIDIA tie the knot with Mercedes-Benz and some other car makers, Adira, with respect to their autonomous driving. So nice to see AMD competing with them.
Yeah, which area of the chip sector are you looking at this morning, Joe?
I mean, I would keep an eye on Broadcom here. I mean, up 4%, obviously a big time deal and a lengthy deal, I think, which is really important. With custom silicon here up into 2031, which isn't bad. AMD has definitely been the better performer, but it was lagging for quite some time. Don't forget that, and then it just went on a parabolic move. Now, as for DRAM, we'll keep our eyes on this, but Broadcom has definitely been hit the hardest out of some of these chip names, right? Down 27%, which we could pull up here. And I mean, this is a name where you have a lot of major companies like the hyperscalers getting involved with, and you're seeing them get hit to the tune from peak to that local low, 27%. So could this be a good buying opportunity here for Broadcom? Potentially. Let's see how this holds up. But then you head over to the NVDAs of the world and see what they're up. We're down 18%. At this point, it just doesn't look like it wants to get going, to be honest with you, right? So, I mean, if it holds up here, 181, I just have the strong hunch that we're going to break through some of these support levels and then head into the 60s, right? And then if that's the case, you break through the support, you're back to levels of July of 2025, so like a year ago. So it's been dead money for quite some time, which is crazy to say, dead money, but this lengthy consolidation, in which I've mentioned on multiple occasions, to the tune where you do get a 43% return from the breakout, but you just head right back into this zone, and I just have a feeling that we're going to continuously slide here. Now, as for AMD, look how well it's holding up. You're down 7%, right? And then you just go on this absolute monster run from 197 all the way up to 588, which is absolutely insane. That's 200%, right? Like, that's a big time move in a name that was struggling for quite some time. But Lisa Su just really starting to pick up the momentum. And if you go back, wow, 2020, so I guess the start of the pandemic here, yeah, that's a lot of cash for sure if someone's been sitting through all of this. This was a hefty pullback here. I remember this day here to the tune of 65%. But anytime you see these mega names pull back anything along those lines, and maybe I'm starting to refer to Broadcom where you're down 30%, I don't see any issue with getting involved with a little bit here. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on Broadcom and Intel this morning.
Keep an eye here, of course, here as well on crypto. We already talked about this story here with MSTR, but big sales here in Bitcoin. I'm seeing anywhere from 2,500 to 3,500 Bitcoin sold last week, raising anywhere from 135 million to 216 million. Not sure why there's two numbers floating around, but the one I'm seeing mostly here is that $216 million raise to the sale of just shy of 3,600 Bitcoin. MSTR dragging the whole Bitcoin space down with it, despite a pretty strong long weekend performance.
So the 8K filing disclosed an $8.32 billion loss on digital assets in Q2 of this year. $8.31 billion of the $8.32 billion is Bitcoin related, of course, as it drops below its cost basis. But accounting practice is important here to offset a capital loss against capital gains. Anybody with tax law knowledge knows about that. So they're going to basically record a full valuation allowance against their deferred tax benefits and assets. That wipes them out for the quarter. So interesting, maneuvers there. But as Adira mentioned, Strategy sold Bitcoin in two recent sales. Let's talk about those. June 29th to June 30th, they sold 1,363 for about $80.8 million. Then between July 1st and 5th, they sold an additional 2,225 for about $135.2 million at an average price of $60,000 and $773 per coin. They currently hold 843,775 Bitcoin. Their aggregate cost basis for those is about $63.69 billion at an average price of $75,476 per coin. They did not buy any Bitcoin or repurchase any shares during this period, and their US dollar reserves sit at $2.55 billion, and they still retain $1.25 billion in board authorized BTC monetization capacity. So they have some money to buy if they so choose it here.
Are you guys choosing to buy Bitcoin today?
I mean, to me, it's at this spot. I mean, we have our note where we mentioned that, it started the week at 58,000 last Wednesday. It did have a move up to 64,000 and change. And, now it's fading out off of that level. And yeah, not a great start here to the day for BTC as we get that news. And there's the drop out there as, the world's biggest supporter of it doesn't seem to be supporting it too much anymore. And yeah, that's going to be a problem. And it looks like we're getting ready to break back down below the $61,000 mark. So I don't have it written on the note today, but yeah, Bitcoin doesn't seem to be trading that well right now, Joe. I mean, it was a nice move higher, and we want to continue to see that move there. It was a 5-day win streak there for Bitcoin, but it looks like today might be that first day where we put an L on it. But, even if you come back up to where we started, if you're going to take it starting at at midnight every day Eastern time, it was 63.5. So there still is a chance that we do bounce off some of these levels. We did have some consolidation in and around the 61.2 marker. So if you go back to Thursday, the 2nd there is where we last, seen these levels. So it wasn't too far ago, but, right back into there, 61 change for Bitcoin. So something to look at. See if it holds. Right now, 61.5. It's starting. I still have Sidu up here. It's still trying to go to the downside right now. So if IBIT continues that push, I think it's a short today. I mean, I don't really see too much, actionable trades here for IBIT on the long side unless we get to that 61. So maybe we just wait for 61 and change with $500 from now. That could almost happen right off the jump. Nasdaq starting to pull back in. Bitcoin's starting to pull back in. We've seen the disconnect between Nasdaq and Bitcoin already. Like we said, it was 5 straight updates for Bitcoin. So this move coming back in looks like we're going to try to hold it. And if you go back to, like I said, it was Thursday's levels there. So you're coming back in, you're trying to hold maybe 34 and change would be a decent spot for IBIT. So we'll wait to see where it goes for now. But underneath VWAP, underneath the 200, everything's starting to point lower here for IBIT. So let us know in the chat if you guys are buyers or sellers of IBIT, because right now I'm not sure there's too much interest in some of these crypto plays. The Solanas, the Ripples, the Ethereums of the world might be something else. But for right now, IBIT and MSTR is starting to hit this name pretty decently. Ethereum today, just have a quick little check on what Ethereum's doing. To my point, Bitcoin's the one that's the laggard here today. Ethereum's still up 2%. So, join the party maybe with some other cryptocurrencies until Michael Saylor and company are done selling. But right now, Bitcoin taking it on the chin a bit.
Yeah, big time. I mean, it's a really tough look. What Michael Saylor's got going on is, it's funny because right now he doesn't look like this is the best strategy, but maybe things can change a year or a couple of years from now where he may look like the smartest person on the planet. But the fact that he is having to offload some to pay some of to pay his dividends is not a good look. He sold 32 of them, and it was like, okay, this is a huge sentiment shift, which I didn't think was the narrative. But anyways, aside from that, 1,300 sold for $80 million. I wonder if it's first in, first out for this guy. But anyways, aside from that, it's a really tough look. He has a bunch of financial gibberish going on with this. It's like his preferred, then once his preferred hit a specific number, he sells that, buys more Bitcoin, and it's just this ongoing cycle that he has going on. But it doesn't seem to work right now because the issue being, Katina, man, Bitcoin doesn't generate any form of yield. It's not like Ethereum where you can stake it. There's no yield. You're not catching any form of that. It's only appreciation within the asset itself. And it's depreciating right now, and it's down over 50% off of its all-time highs. So it's a tough look for Michael Saylor and company right now.
Now let's talk here about a different man. It's going to be basically the Elon Musk portion of this rundown. We're going to start, though, here with TSLA before we get into SpaceX. This is a really, really strong Q2 delivery report for Tesla, and the market did not care. Sold off all day. We do have some analysts, though, still weighing in this report. I mean, this was an interesting look here for Tesla, I think, with these deliveries. Yeah,
it could be that, or it could be this. Screen, please. All right, so here is the robo-taxi driving without a steering wheel, which is one of the first videos released by the company of this being done in real life, not on a closed circuit. So what does this mean? Well, when you combine that with some of the other videos on X, of course, and you see the amount of robo-taxis now parked at these Tesla supercharging stations, it's kind of the same thing that we saw with the Juniper. As soon as they're about to get released, you start seeing them en masse in the wild. And that's exactly what we saw. Now we saw Tesla expanding their robo-taxi service to Miami. That happened on the 3rd of July. It marks its entry into a third state, officially operating in Texas, unofficially operating in California, of course, where we know that they've been operating in San Francisco Bay Area. Optimus as well, very much in focus as Elon Musk put, I guess, a new picture of the new manufacturing line on July 1st, as well as investors are anticipating to look at the new version 3 Optimus coming out later this year. We know prior they had stopped production on the X and the S to focus those old production lines on Optimus. So a lot of new upcoming products here, possibly, Adara.
Yeah, slew of Tesla catalysts. Are you guys looking at this stock?
I love everything. The more I read about it, the more I love this autonomous play. I just think it's the way of the future, to be honest with you. And Katina, man, finally driving that, getting into the full self-drive. And I think that's just confirmation of where we're actually headed.
Because I bought it, yeah.
You're the key driver.
No, I was watching that, and that's exactly how I feel there, steering wheel or not. Like sitting behind a Tesla, that's just automated me into work every day or whatever, and it's amazing. So I really like the technology, and I don't even have the newest version of the technology, the 4.5 hardware and all that. Mine's just a Model 3. So coming into right here, $400.50. It looks like we're trying to break higher right now. We got schmackied on Friday with Tesla, man. I mean, that just kept on bleeding all day Friday. It was my worst stock of the day, my worst stock of the week, trying to trade this thing long all day Friday. So we're going to touch that stove again here if it's a little hot. I think so, yeah. I mean, that break of 401 right there, that we didn't have that happen on Friday, and then we wound up basically going out at its lows, right? And that was 390. So we're going to have to look to see what happens right in and around here of 401. And yeah, just seeing that technology in person for myself has been quite amazing. And, you have very little disengagements. I did find, Sharif always asking, there's a few more struggles, in the city than there is on the highway. I mean, the highway is very, very simple. Yes, Sharif?
If you can bring me in, Katina, man, there was a fantastic video, and I wanted to send this to you yesterday, but I ended up falling asleep, of FSD going through the streets of Toronto, of downtown Toronto, like down the road from here, and it's navigating everything under the sun. Yeah. Closed lanes, traffic officers directing them to go different ways. I got to send you this video, Katia, man, because it is kind of the proof in the pudding of, urban style navigation for autonomous drive.
I think that was one of the big questions too. How does it work in these major cities, right? Like if you send it into New York and LA, but we also have another issue here as well, and that's the weather, right? Like when it comes to snow,
Yeah, but I mean, I think this is something that's not rocket science. Like, this is something that they're going to figure out, and they probably already have, right? And so I think that's the thing about the over-the-air software updates. You know, like you literally, like my car could be getting an update right now.
Exactly.
You know, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, the software is way better, so on and so forth.
But I don't know how much the software is going to have an effect if there's snow covering all of the cameras.
Oh, covering the cameras?
Yeah,
oh, no, it won't let you work.
Yeah, it won't work.
No, it tells you. It says you got to clear the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So then when you're on the highway, right? Like we know the vehicle can accumulate slush and
yeah, then the full self-drive, then it will tell you that it's off.
Shut it off.
You know, it's like, Joe, it's hard to see with your eyes closed.
This is very difficult.
So you got to be able to,
But then what does that mean for the vehicle? Listen,
nothing,
I'm a bullet.
it means
It means vehicle with the vehicles with no steering wheel.
Oh, you mean?
They won't be able to operate.
Yes, it means for the robo-taxis.
Yeah, it won't be able to operate.
Unless, I guess it would have to pull over, and then someone would have to come. Yeah, I mean,
or you'd have to get out and clean the camera.
All right, one more minute left. Yeah. SpaceX joins the Nasdaq. Let's go talk about it because I know we'll be trading it.
Yeah, it's been less than a month here since SpaceX's IPO, but it's already going to be joining the Nasdaq 100 index, that edition happening tonight.
Yeah, watch out for the buying, guys. Passive buying by indexes tracking the Nasdaq 100 could be a bullish week. Keep an eye on the price action.
SBCX will start trading as part of the index tomorrow at the bell. How are you guys looking as we head into today's bell?
Long. I mean, this has been Joe and I, turned over to each other and was like, why do we trade anything but SpaceX, really? This has been such an amazing trade since it's been an IPO, and I'm just going to watch it at 160. I mean, we really held this 150 marker. I do think it's probably a sell the news situation, so I'm not like super gung-ho about it, but it's my number one idea on today's sticky note. I'm going to take SpaceX. You can go find it at Trader TV, Sean. And I think you can have heated cameras there to try to wipe down that snow a little bit.
When it gets too...
Our opening bell is brought to you by VinFast, another EV company, the global intelligent mobility company. We want to thank VinFast for sponsoring, once again, our opening bell. All right, we're ready to go, man. If SpaceX gets into 160, we'll trade that, and we'll see what goes on long for that. Oh, man, I'm supposed to be in debug mode, and I'm not. I forgot about that. Sorry, Juan. But right now, 166. We're open now. There it is. We are now open for SpaceX. So 166 and change. Trying to go through again. I'm trying to get Apple. I'm going to switch stocks and hope this works. It's not. I'm going to try to get Apple through 308. Hopefully that'll happen through 308.50. That's written down on here. The TQQ's at $75 as well. And Michael still not able to flip symbols, but that's my fault. I'm supposed to be in debug mode. There goes Apple now flipping, so we're good now. Watch out for 308.50. This break right into there. Now we're long. I don't know how that just happened there. Long 308.50. Okay, I guess it maybe broke, but we don't take a huge amount of shares here right off the jump when that happens. So we're just chill right now. It looks like we do get that top wick bouncing around 308 right now. It's Apple.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we got our eyes on DRAM up 8% here this morning, 7 1/3 to be exact. But then we also have Tesla on our mind. 5-minute time frame, breaking through some key pre-market levels. Let's keep an eye out on this bad boy as we find out that we are rolling out in Miami. Welcome to Miami.
Yeah, welcome to Miami.
Tesla and FSD. So anyways, aside from that, guys, Meta, we were keeping our eyes on it last week, but giving back the majority of its move off the announcement that starting to provide cloud services, but Mark Zuckerberg and company not really liking the current trajectory of what's going on in the AI rollout, not performing how they had intentions for it. Rightfully so. I mean, it's a tough space, a little late to the dance. It happens. I don't have anything. You're long Apple there, Katina Man. And there goes Meta about to breach that $600 marker.
All right, we're going to go over to Adero when you're ready. But yeah, we're logged into Apple right now, 308.40s. So not the end of the world. It did spike up. We could have got some out there in the 70s. We do not. Here comes Apple downside right now. What's up, Adero?
President Trump here, live in the Oval Office to talk about Trump accounts. Michael Dell is here with his wife, Susan Dell. They just talked about an Oval Office bell ringing here for the stock market. I'll pull up Dell for you guys. So just be aware, he is talking DELL, a little bit of a move to the upside. If there's anything specific said about the company, I'll let you know. Keep an eye on Microsoft as well here. MSFT on watch, some wild swings here at this first candle, 30-minute candle rather, of the day, as Business Insider reports that the company has cut 4,800 jobs across sales and Xbox. We'd already heard some reports that there would be roughly 4,000 jobs cut. This number could be slightly larger than what we were expecting, but either way, just a report for now for MSFT. Back to you.
Okay, we'll check out Microsoft. We did hear some of those reports, as Dara mentioned last week, there for Microsoft. So we'll be careful and see what's going on right now. But yeah, I like it, man. Very volatile early, creating the Nasdaq. I mean, it's a nice move higher here for the Nasdaq. And we have been sitting in Apple previously and wondering what's going on, you know, as it's not moving with the market. But there it is. We'll take a little piece out right there at 60s, I believe we just put. Yeah, so we get a little piece out there at 60s. Now let's see if it wants to go a little higher. We're only in one name, and it's Apple for myself right now as I look over, and Joe's just straight chilling, which is completely fine. You don't need to jump into something.
But that's the thing, like, dude, it's 3 minutes after the open.
Exactly.
I can let the volatility.
No, and the only reason I'm in it is because, honestly, this is why we make the notes, right? The sticky note here, we had 308.50 top break, wanted to take it there on Apple. We're trying to be patient with SpaceX as well. If that can fall back into our lap, and there it is, man. We're trying to doing it live right now for everybody, hopefully. And there's another one, so we'll go bang, 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 bang. As we sat there, we supported this Apple trade, and now it's going higher. We're out at 308.80s there, as we described before. Let's get going. My next offer is at 309 clean, and we'll see if Apple wants to get going through these levels. Hey, man, the futures are going. It's Apple's turn. I'm at 309. Why was I there? Normally, man, I'm at like 308.95s. We talked about that before. We should be there again. We should be sitting right in front of it, not at the exact level. So we'll put an offer there now at 94s. We'll cancel our 09 and see if we get it. But my bad on that one. We definitely should have been out some more there of Apple
Tesla
near 309. I did like Tesla.
No, there's nothing to like about it, man.
Okay. No, I was going to say.
I'm out of it already.
Oh, you were in it. Okay.
Yeah, I tried to just a brief entry, and I'm like, you know what, dude? It did what it sold off. It couldn't find a bottom on Thursday, and I'm not going to mess around. We took our one attempt on it, and I want to focus on DRAM. I thought it would be bright and early this morning where we do get that move. Maybe it'll take a little bit longer than what I'm expecting, but we took the attempt. It didn't work, and then we're out of it just like that. I'm, again, very low patience and tolerance for this name, just in case we end into an all-day fade.
I like that.
Again.
So we just get that out, man. Sometimes we're smart. Most of the time, you know, that's questionable. But we just get some out there at 94. We sat in front of 309 this time and took that out. So again, this is why Joe and I are here, man. Not just a handsome face to the guy to the right of me, smart guy. I'm trying to talk about getting out a little bit in front of those levels. So Trump accounts going on right now. Michael Dell and Donald Trump now talking to each other. We're going to have some news on that. There goes Dell, nice upside move. And then we have Robinhood on these Trump accounts as well. Let me know when you're ready there, Andre. We'll go over to Adara. Let's go over to Adara.
Now, for the third time, President Trump has told people to go out and buy a Dell. This just happened here. And again, as I mentioned, he said this at the last event here with Michael Dell as well, related to Trump accounts. So now President Trump saying, once again, the third time in total and the second time at a Trump account related event, Trump telling people to, quote, go out and buy a Dell as DELL continues to push to new intraday highs.
I should just be going out and buying some Dell shares then. The problem is right now it's a $1.50 spread, which is fine. It's just, you know, in order to get long, you got to try to close this spread a little bit. It's trying to get very, very volatile. Like, this is just crazy that you know, a president can talk like that, but you know, it's his opinion, and there it goes, man, up to 410 and change. If anything, I should just hate the fact that I'm not long, and there goes Dell, man, and not trying to be a hater, but you know, mentions the stock, and there it goes to the upside. Sometimes it just is that simple, and there goes Dell, and oh boy, man, we're starting to do it now, my guy. Now we're finally starting to do it. So there it goes. It takes down 309. That's our best out anyways. So now we got to wait to see if it does crack higher right now, then 309. It's hopefully going to be a good all-day mover here. Look at the market. The market just went to dump city right there.
Yeah, probably led by NVDA.
Yeah, or you said Tesla as well. That's why
Tesla's been
I was surprised at looking at Apple right now, because that's going to the high side.
But it did that on Thursday. Remember?
I remember when I dumped it and I was like, I didn't believe it.
It went Oppo Taco. At that point,
okay.
So
give me some more confidence here in the Oppo Taco.
Yeah, well, let's go. I mean, rock and roll on this bad boy. A lot.
I'm gonna try to hold it.
A couple of headwinds there. Meta still trading around 591. I mean, that breakout level was around 566. It climbs up to 628 and then gives back the majority of its move. And this is what I'm talking about. Sold off on Thursday, and look at Tesla bright and early this morning, from 400 all the way down to 391. So disastrous look, and that's why I wasn't going to hold on to it. As soon as it cracked that low of the day, that buy program I was hoping was going to step in nice and early hasn't been the case whatsoever here on Tesla. Meta selling off at this point. You're $20 away from where you broke out, so it's going to give back the majority of the move. This is the third time we've seen this happen on META, and what are the other 2 times? We're talking about when he implemented the paid tiers within Instagram, and then also the betting markets, all right? So the prediction markets, it's just like, boom, off to the races, see you later. We got Apple. All the other mega cap names moving to the south side. Looks like there's a rotation into the name Katina Manzin.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about Apple, and what I wrote down here on the sticky note, of course, was very, very simple for Apple, right? And it was just talking a little bit right here about the potential for a move higher, right? We had a good move on Friday, so we talked about let's get that going. We're hopping on board here with this play, and we're going to hope that it continues with that momentum. And there it goes off of Friday's momentum play there for Apple. I mean, this is what it was doing on Friday during the first hour, really got going, and eventually stopped around 11 o'clock. But at the end of the day, there goes Apple again today. We took it pretty good. It's a nice little long there for AAPL. But I mean, you know, I'm going to get out some more here in the 90s if we can, because it just faded off $9. Our best out there, $9.50. So $09.48. Our best outs there on Apple. So SpaceX is another name that I want to look into, right? This is a name that's been added now to the Nasdaq 100 as of tomorrow. So there's a little bit of a bump. I mean, actually pretty good one, up into 168. If I remember correctly, I thought 168 was, no, I was gonna say that was key, but no, not really. It's up into here. It's 169 right there that we dumped off of. So that little level, no surprise there that we kind of get going and stop in and around there. So we'll have to wait for a 169 or so fill coming on SpaceX in order to go short. I'm still looking for a long. I want to buy this long down by 161 to 160. I'm currently bidding 161 flat on SpaceX. As Joe and I mentioned here, be patient with it. Shout out to everybody that's here right now. What's up to Juan Padilla says, go Tesla. John Pickett over here in the chat as well saying, let's go Palantir, says John. There's Juan as well. SpaceX there today and tomorrow. Yeah, I think there's going to be multiple days going there for SpaceX. But guess what? There it is, man. We got our Dollar Club winner already to go on Apple. So there it goes, breaking through 309.50. We're long down here at 308.30. Just trying to show you guys that, hey, who watched a hot dog eating contest there with Joey Chestnut? I did not. But Joey Chestnut there, I think he ran 60. Can you guys believe this? 66 hot dogs in 10 minutes, Adara. 66 glizzies down the hatch in 10 minutes. His world record, though, Adara, 76 glizzies in 10 minutes.
I can't even eat a single hot dog with, like, pure enjoyment. So, I mean, power to him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maximum hot dog. I mean, whatever. You know, if you wanted to, I guess you could eat a lot of hot dogs, but the healthy aspect of that, I don't know. I think he said there's something like 19,000 calories or something in those 66 hot dogs. But yeah, there it goes, man. Nice move higher there for Apple and, you know, Nathan's Hot Dogs. I think that's who sponsors that one. Shout out to 4th of July. What a great opportunity there to hang out with friends as well. All right, yeah, Joe's right back there. I was
gonna say to you,
a little espresso action there.
No, this actually is just a flat out copy.
Straight.
I was gonna say to you, you know who the best athlete on the planet is right now?
Shohei Ohtani or
no? Joey Chestnut.
I know, we just talked about that. Yeah, I know. But he didn't break his own record.
I know, but he's won it for 18 years in a row.
18 straight in a row. Yeah, I know. And then you talk about one of the best athletes in the world. I mean, one of the most renowned ones, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
People were lined up at Centennial right by my place, watching this guy just warm up. And then they left. Portugal has now left Toronto yesterday, I believe, or maybe it was Saturday, to head over to. Are they playing at MetLife next?
They're playing
Espanyol. That's going to be, wow. Spain, Portugal. You want to talk about all the great games that we've seen so far this year. Spain, Portugal, definitely happening. Shout out to everybody watching on TikTok and on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere that you guys are watching us. A big shout out, and we want to thank you all for that. LHSW, that was one of the runners here today. A big one. Those of you talking about LHSW, rightfully so, man. man. Nice move into $7. Now trying to base out. There's a little bit off VWAP. Now 550. Good little long. I actually wrote down LHSW here on the sticky note today. Long near $5. So that could come back into play here. LHSW. Wow, good thing we got some out of Apple. Are we going to reinvest into this name or not as a day trade? It just came into 308 again. AAPL. Haven't decided about that. I have less than half now, but some good outs up there. Our best one is 309.70s. We got a couple 50s going on there as well, but Apple fading out just a little bit. I kind of want to give this some room. See if we can get long down into here, man. 308 again. We'll see if that happens for us on Apple. Bidding right now, 307.25. Let's put our bid at 308 and see if we get something a little higher for Apple. 308 and change. Yeah. Trying to get some more longs here on AAPL. Start the day.
Yeah, I'm trading every name other than what I said I was only going to trade here today, and that's DRAM. I don't know why we're in some meta right now. We took an attempt on Tesla. There's a nice indecision print at the lows, but this name is not working out how we want it to. As long as we hold up and don't break this low, I'm going to be involved with this, but I'm starting to like the look of DRAM's jib, especially around the volume weighted average price. This closes as a hammer. I'm going to have some more confidence in it. If we head back towards the volume weighted average price VWAP with some more aggression, then I will add into it. Okay, there we go. But I'm still full size. 5-minute time frame, not telling us what the 1 minute is, but there goes Tesla right back up towards the volume weighted average price too. So I mean, things aren't too doom and gloom here. Need I pull up this name? I guess I will. It's just super frustrating. Is this NVDA around 194? I expect to chop fest probably for quite some time within this. I don't know how much from an appreciation standpoint. So maybe it might be best to park your cash elsewhere at this point, even though not financial advice, more or less speaking out loud. But there goes Tesla right back towards the pre-market highs. It's a little bit early on this one, so it was a free fall bright and early this morning. But now finding a big-time V reversal, Katina, man. Let's get involved in some DRAM. I like the look of this one's jib right now.
Yeah, Tesla, that was a good move. And the thing about Tesla is, and you just covered it, but it went right back into Friday's lows there, in and around that 390 spot for TSLA. Good thing Apple's come back to the zone here, and we say cheer on for Apple as we just get some more fills over 309. And here we go, right back to highs. I'm just waiting at 309.95 right now. 10 seconds, we got some numbers. Let's go over to Adara.
Keep an eye here on the S&P Global Composite and Services PMI prints. We're going to get the more closely watched ISM Services PMI at 10 a.m. But again, right now, 15 minutes earlier, we're going to get these services and composite prints. So services PMI here for the S&P coming in at 51.2, just shy of the estimate of 51.3. Composite PMI here, again, this S&P composite PMI print, 51.9 versus 52.2 expected. So again, both the services and composites S&P PMI prints slightly below estimates as we wait for the ISM services PMI prints in 15 minutes at 10 a.m. S&P currently bouncing here off of lows. Nothing major to report here with that number in mind. President Trump still talking as well. Back to you.
Still talking, no surprise there. What do you want to do, Andre?
Change it back. Right, someone was asking where you were at us, so I said I can't release that information just because. But shh, man, you can't let them know because then they'll find out it's the assassin, man. Yeah, we got Tiffany over there running the sticks, as we would like to say. Some people liking the FBL move. This is the play right here, is the DRAM trade. I mean, this one's already starting to break through the high of the day. I'm just messing around here. And I don't have as much size as I would like on this DRAM. I have more size on the FBL. I know a lot of people saying in the chat that they like the look of that one. There it goes. Tesla breaking through the high of the pre-market high. Yeah, the market's going. What isn't going right now, Katina Man, is Meta, which isn't a good sign. We'll pull up TSLL here and see where we took that little bit of a loss. But look how much it sold out. So that's why we get out, right? Like I was like, okay, it breaks the high of the day. I just didn't re-engage in it. There was nothing telling me to buy again, even though it just decided to do a perfect V-shaped reversal, and off to the races it went. So the one that I get out here starts to work, and then right now DRAM and Meta are just complete hot messes. Maybe I'd just roll over to the Nasdaq there, Katina, man. I know you got some good stuff rolling on AAPL.
Yeah, man. I mean, Apple right now is almost $1.50. Well, it is $1.50 now in the money. I'm waiting for 309.95. Trying to do the same thing there. It just went to 309.90s there. So hopefully we do get a little bit more of a bump up there as we continue to go. Let's go Apple right now. We'll see if we can get some floss action. Make sure you floss as well. Don't just brush. You got to floss there.
Do you floss every day?
Yeah.
Good.
But only once every night.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
How many times a day you brush?
That's what I was saying. I don't. So I was debating, like, you could bring a toothbrush to the gym, maybe.
Yeah.
And brush in the middle.
As soon as I get home, I brush.
Oh yeah. So I'm definitely
morning brush.
I'm morning and evening.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Only twice.
I'm morning as
I
soon
don't know
as
if that's
I get
gross
home.
or not. I don't know what people do too much. But when you get home is a good idea too.
Yeah.
I always have like well, here's an example. We have this gum lying around too. I think.
But how old that's been?
This gum's been here for a minute. This says best before May of 27, but yeah, whatever. I guess it's been we got a year date on that one.
Man.
Michael Dell. We did talk about some of those Dell accounts starting to go higher and higher there, and it's not the Dell accounts, of course. It's the Trump accounts. But wow. You know, Adair brought us a story. I think when I was looking at it, remember the spread was 408 to 409 or so there. So Dell continuously moving higher here as, dude, get yourself a Dell, says Donald. And looks like a lot of people are not only getting themselves a Dell computer, but maybe also getting themselves some Dell shares as that continues to go higher there. Yeah, what's up to lunch 911? I mean, you caught Tesla both on the upside and on the downside. Incredible. I mean, that's the one of the best things about, actually, do I have it? No, I canceled my buy. I was actually going to buy through this high on Tesla. I didn't do it yet. But one of the best things about Tesla is this kind of potential, right? It's a great day trading name, TSLA, always trying to do the best moves. And they did it again here today, 400 down to 391. And like I was saying to Joe, there's the low from, I almost said Friday again, the low from Thursday coming into play there, 390. So I've said Friday a couple times, but of course it meant Thursday. 390, 391 coming into play there for Tesla. So happy belated 4th of July to everybody. And I hope you're all sort of gassed back up and ready to go and, you know, got that rest from, you know, your weekend partying potentially and, you know, back in here ready to make some trades with us on this sunny, nice, gorgeous day here.
Yeah.
Another day here in the city of Toronto. But yeah, there goes Tesla back to the downside. I'm taking another piece here, just, you know, for argument's sake, you know, in about 25% left, just so we can talk about how much we have left here on Apple, because we just got our 310 marker. So that was a good little level there to take that out with as well. And then, you know, looking for some halters, NIPG, 2,000 shares, nothing. This name just halted. INLF has been halting a little bit there today, up to 277,000 right now. So not a huge day. And then LHSW was the other name that we, why didn't that work? LHSW. I'm not sure. That one's not coming out for me right now. LHSW, there it is. $5-6. So we talked about a $5 hold. Looks like it is trying to do that. LHSW right now not doing so horrid either. And then just a quick check back. I have SpaceX on my mind. We've got the TQs, Apple, and LHSW. So far so good as we continue to make some moves there. You're in DRAM, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm in DRAM is definitely the play. I'm just sitting in here on in Meta with very, very little confidence in the trade. I'm just waiting for it to break the low of the day, and then I'm out of that one. I want to add a lot more here at any opportunity here within DRAM. But Paulie, don't worry, Paulie. I know you're my biggest fan, so don't worry about that one. Neil will be back bright and early tomorrow. Looking forward to see him roll back over. Tesla putting in a new high of the day. There's no need for us to actually. We can take a look at it. Some of the small cap names. How is LHSW? That thing's dead. It's not doing anything right now. This is the thing with the small caps. They're hot for a couple of minutes and then they tend to cool down. Other than that, we head over to our watch list and see what the jib is. Another 0.5% for this name. Nothing substantial. DRAM. Oh, why didn't we add? See, that's the issue. I said I'm DRAM all day. I'm literally DRAM all day, and I've traded Tesla and Meta. There was no reason for me to be involved with them. Obviously, hindsight 2020, we wouldn't put on a trade if we didn't have any form of intention to winning. But look at this just go here now. So if I had more size, and if I had the size on which I had in Meta, what I do in compared to DRAM, then it'd be a different story here. I know I ran into that issue on Friday, but again, it is what it is. Broadcom up 5%, Katina, man.
Yeah,
down 27 off the lows. Google down actually here 0.5%. 0.9%, and Apple just holding on to flat. So let's see what we got going on with some of the other names. SpaceX up 2.9%. I know you were talking a lot of SpaceX here. Do you have, you got it up on your chart, so you're prepared to rock and roll. But look at this on the 5-minute. Looks absolutely disastrous for this name. I'll hold on. There is a little bit of a support system, right? You can see this consolidation zone from the post. Let's see if we can get a move back to VWAP. That's going to be my primary target on this one.
Yeah, shout out to everybody there in the chat. We want to give a big shout out. We had BE, some talk there. From there, it is way up there again on TikTok. BE is printing today, so that's Bloom Energy. We can have a quick little look there, and there was some talk. I saw IREN is up 14%. I'm not sure what's up with that one. That's a name that I'm in, so we're happy with that as well. IREN coming through. Juan Padilla's like, hell yeah, SPY. SDOT, a perennial halter. We could definitely have a check of that one. SDOT went from like $8 to $100 last week, I believe, and you're still in DRAM. What's up, man?
I'm out.
I like any lineup you present. Oh, yeah. People talking about Sharif and Neil. That'd be kind of a fun midday show, but Joey and Neil is where it's at for the middays. So we got to give a big shout out to that.
Joey and Neil?
Joey and Sharif.
Yeah, don't worry. Neil will be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Everyone's good to that. No, I was just letting people know, as I know you did as well. But yeah, Bloom Energy, good little level there, man. I mean, hard to disagree with a $300 break. Well, see what happens with Bloom, now up 10% here. It's not that I need to ask Adara for any news on this one. This is a name that just goes. And it's, when we talk about some of those power and the build back of these databases and things like that, data centers, you could definitely see a name like IREN starting to go today with better feels on crypto and some of that crypto mining and power used for that. IREN, big into that. So that's up 14% there right now as IREN as we continue to watch out for some of these plays kicking through. As you get the Nasdaq up 1.4%, hey man, we talked about buying into some J&J down there around that 220, 225 area. They're making a move down today, down 2.5%. And in fact, it is now almost 10 o'clock. Well, let's have a quick look to see what this broader market's doing because we got to, I know Adara has, happening now section. We'll have a look at all of these as well. But let's just do it real quick right now. The financials doing okay today. Some winners, some losers. Visa and MasterCard. Wonder if there's a story about Visa and MasterCard there, Adara, because generally this will be something about consumer credit.
I think both companies are invested in the Trump accounts, but very likely not why they're moving today because it's not like they're speaking.
Okay. The Trump accounts, we did look for Robinhood moving around there today. It was relatively flat early. I'll have to try to find out about Robinhood in a couple seconds there. But yeah, it's Broadcom strengthening their deal with Dell today. And then, it's AMD. It's not Dell, dude. It's AMD. And AMD's up 8%. Wow. Intel, man. Joe, maybe we did miss that one. Oh, I bought some Qualcomm on. Oh, yes. Yes. Buddy, Qualcomm. Yeah, let's go. We bought some Qualcomm last week. We talked about liking that one on the dip. So it's not like it's huge. Qualcomm moves 6 or 7% every freaking day anyways.
Any day.
It seems like. Shout out to Eli Lilly, down 2%. Look at this. The XBI, the IBBs right here. Healthcare not having a great day, including Danaher down 3% today. That's not good. AbbVie, I've been in for a minute. That's a really good one. Actually, I've been in AbbVie for probably a decade. We'll have to wait to see what's going on there. Vertex, Merck, all these names getting hit as we focus a little bit more on tech today and less in healthcare technology. I'm buying dips in this space, man. Really, really do like that. And then again, as we look at for some more primed up names, you get some of these forgotten battles, right? And that is with the McDonald's, the Pepsis and all that. Good global brands getting hit today. And by the way, Joe, I really like your Nike symbol. That you had there, the dripping Nike, that was more gangster. I like that one. Drippy. But right now, it's dripping down lower and lower is NKE. They kind of secretly had their earnings last week, and I mentioned that because we didn't really talk too much about it until the day after, and we get a nice bump there.
There's a reason why, Katina, man.
Yeah, I know, but it's a nice bump, though. But now today, you're fading off of, again, that 50-period moving average. It's really too bad that Nike just can't, get going there. And if you're in Nike stock, you may tell it to just do it. And hopefully that
But it's not.
I know. Back to the upside. So we get a little bit out of Apple as it breaks below 309. A little bit more out as we get it some over to 309.50 Apple. The only one trade that I have on today, it's been a banger there. AAPL. I know you've been into a few different things.
Yeah, I've been to it, and they haven't been working with the exception of DRAM. I added a little bit more up here in these pre-market zones. Again, small size, about a third of what I had over here. If we pull back a little bit more, then I'm just going to continuously add and build a position to the point where I hope that we can get a little bit of a move here. NVDA did break all the way up to 196, so we'll take that, helping drag the overall market it a little bit higher there, Katina, man. A clean break of some of the resistance zones. Meta, I don't even, it's irrelevant to me what's happening with that name now. It looks like it was going to continue to sell. But Tesla's pretty strong here, right? Recovered nice. So, I mean, Katina, man, and I both trying to find a bottom on this name. Couldn't on Thursday, that is. But, hey, things turning around as we enter Miami. But what we do have, Katina, man, is JPM up 0.6%, baby. Let's see what we got going on this one. Not too bad of a look. Only about 0.5% off of the all-time high, with 2% to be exact on JPM.
What's the exact price there? 330?
336. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs over here, down a little bit off the highs. But Walmart, Goldman, we need a Goldman Sachs one. So there it is, 109.12. All the way up to 112 there on Walmart. I still believe we're going to hold up. Not too much selling pressure right now. But a name that split last week, and one of my favorites. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Katina, man. Bang is right, Tiffany. 206 on CrowdStrike after that split. Man, listen, we've seen a lot of names.
All-time highs?
Yeah, it's at all-time highs. We've seen a lot of names struggle after the split. Netflix, NVDA, most definitely just dilution, more participants. Not CrowdStrike, as we put in another back-to-back days of us being at the all-time high. So not too bad of a look there on CrowdStrike.
A couple names really starting to pop up, and I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's in our chat over here. And it was, I don't want to forget about it. There it is. What's up to Kyle right there? Way up there, Nike no Air Jordans. I think you might be right about there. The air up there is not that clear. For Nike. Nikki says IREN. Plug has been there as well. WXM just got halted. We can have a look over there. IREN, again, there's a lot of IREN talk about. There's your CrowdStrike. Kids halted. That's the one that just got halted up. KIDZ. We could have a look there as well. KIDZ. Yeah, we'll have a quick look. Thanks to everybody for there in the chat. Make sure you do get in, whether or not you're on TikTok, whether or not you're on YouTube, Twitch. Get into the chat, man. We have that one chat feed. I'm looking for everybody to be participating in that services PMI coming out in just 1 minute. But I did see another name there in the chat.
LHSW going again.
SoFi right there, huge move up from 18 up to 19. SoFi up 3% as well. Yeah, I got stopped out on Crowd short this morning, says Mark. So shout out to that one. And yeah, man, CrowdStrike new all-time highs was 199. Split adjusted new all-time highs. So 206 today, split 4 for 1, I believe, Thursday. Right?
4 for 1. Listen, again, we're not telling you how or what to trade, but if you just zoom out a little bit here on CrowdStrike, I don't think that's the correct name to be shorting at this point.
Let's go to it here. Numbers in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
we'll come
absolutely.
back.
Yeah. We had lower than expected prints here for the S&P composite and services PMI prints. In just 5 seconds, we're going to get the more closely watched ISM services PMI forecast 54. Prior print here 54.5, coming out here at 54. So exactly in line with estimates. Again, S&P services and composite PMI a little bit lower than we were expecting. ISM services PMI dead in line with estimates. Let's take a look at this market here. Continuing to make slightly higher lows and higher highs for a fairly muted open. We did hold this gap to the upside so far, so good look with that in mind. President Trump still talking at this Trump Accounts event and apparently now taking questions. So it's worth noting a couple of public companies were mentioned by U.S. Senator Ted Cruz from Texas just now with regards to these Trump accounts, saying that it'll change how kids view the world. They can now go to McDonald's or be on Boeing planes. Think about how they're now parts of these companies through the Trump accounts, which will invest kids in the market. So not really much of a move here in either of these, but I think just worth noting they were both mentioned. Also involved in the Trump accounts is SpaceX, SPCX, President here, Gwynne Shotwell, pledging SpaceX stock for 2 million children through Trump accounts. President Trump announced over the weekend that these CEOs of companies or leaders of companies can and should be investing here through the Trump accounts by providing stock or donating stock. So interesting look there for SPCX, that company set to join the index tonight as well, the Nasdaq. And another name that's related to the Trump accounts is going to be Dell, D-E-L-L. President Trump now for the third time saying that everyone should, quote, go out and buy a Dell. The company, as we know, is very heavily involved in the Trump accounts. Last but not least, keep an eye on memory plays this week. MU, one of many memory plays in focus here. SK Hynix set to debut. Make its U.S. market debut, rather. We know they're listed in Asia. They're going to be listed in the U.S. as well. Likely to go public via that U.S. IPO on Friday. Also, signing a deal here with Ford. So keep an eye on these memory stocks. And remember to like and subscribe. We're going back to the guys.
All right, guys, traders, here's an offer that your broker isn't going to give you. Markets have been extremely active lately. For traders, this kind of environment creates opportunity. Big moves mean more setups and more momentum. But to really take advantage of these conditions, you need two things: discipline and, of course, access to capital. And that's where Trade the Pool comes in. Instead of being limited by the size of your own account, traders can access firm capital and focus on executing their strategy and managing risk. No more fear of blowing up your own personal account. No more moving your stop loss too early because you're worried about your own savings. This is what we call limited risk trading. So if you want to take advantage of the volatility in today's markets without risking your own capital, please visit tradethepool.com. Scan that QR code right there in front of you. Get involved with Trade the Pool ASAP. And we trade on a prop floor, of course. So, limited risk is involved in that as well. I think that's one of the biggest features. Tesla. Their shared upside, shared downside, of course. Kids, we talked about that. Yeah. Releasing a new AI learning platform today, KIDZ. So they're up 113% and just a little halt there.
Chinese, isn't it?
Is it Chinese?
I don't know. I get the hunch that
maybe. Maybe. But there it is, KIDZ, with a new AI learning platform today. And, we've seen this name go bump in the night. It looks like they did reverse split there from 8 cents up to 240 or 250. So I don't know, 240, 20 to 1, maybe 40, 30 to 1 there. Not sure exactly the exact price, but there was a little split, reverse split there. And then we had another actionable reverse split, it looks like there again, maybe 10 to 1 from 25 cents up to 250. And now today with a little bit of news, people hopping on kids stock, KIDZ right now. That has been halted. And then the only other one there, WXM, halted again. We sort of talked a little bit about that. That's now opened back up at $5. So that's the name that's been halting. And then this LHSW, looking at that at $5, just didn't really come in. That's your 200 period moving average. It's still doing well, up 250% right now for LHSW. And then SMR down here near $10. It's
not Chinese, yeah.
No, it's not?
No.
Okay, SMR down here, something to look at underneath $10, I feel like, as that's moving a little lower there as well. Nasdaq kind of just doing its own thing this morning. So we want to welcome everybody to the show on a Nasdaq up 1.27%, ES up 0.47 today. So it's been a good day for the broader markets, that's for sure, as we continue to wait to see what that next shoe to drop is. And I mean, dude, we still didn't get that Dell, man. Now that's, oh my. You know what?
DRAM gonna tank.
This is my bad. Like, honestly, we've seen President Trump mention Dell numerous times.
Yep.
It seems like every single time that happens, regardless of what the market's doing, because right now it's not doing what the market's doing, and Dell started the day doing absolutely nothing, right? I mean, it opened the day where it closed. So it's not like, sure, we started to bump up almost immediately there at 9:30, but, that was kind of an easier trade. And I was looking at it there at 408. Remember I said the spread was about $1.50 or so? We should have just maybe played that 410 break and maybe used 408 as our crutch to get out. But there it goes up to 420. And I don't know how everybody's weekend was, but, got to take it easy a little bit and make sure you're not hitting anything too hard and enjoying your weekend when you're outside. You talked about those wobbly pops, non-alcoholic ones.
Yeah,
of course.
I didn't have any.
Oh, you didn't have anything at all?
No.
All right, me neither. I didn't have it. Did I have a drink? Oh, we had an old bottle of wine. I think that was maybe a couple days there. We brought one back from Vermont. I think we had that Thursday, so it was in the fridge for a few days. I don't know how long you can keep just a bottle of white wine.
It's not like red. It doesn't.
I mean, I don't think you can unless you have it properly sealed, real good. Don't keep wine for too long once it's been open there.
Oh, once it's been open, is it? Yeah, different
story. Yeah, I think that was we were like on that 4 or 5 day mark.
Yeah, you don't want it to go bad now because you have to finish it.
Yeah, so that's what we did. So we had about one glass each or so over the weekend. Other than that, that's about it.
Oh man, it's gonna look so really slow start for me here this morning, and I'm gonna be sitting on my hands, especially if this DRAM doesn't work out. This head and shoulder. Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
We don't want to speak too soon, my boy. As we get a little bit of a pop, but I'm worried about this just being a little bit of a liquidity grab there, guys. We'll zoom out. This head and shoulder style pattern. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see it's shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2. Now we're just starting to break through. Maybe this is somewhat of an absorption. We don't want too hefty of a pullback here. We want to see buyers continuously step in. I did add more and more shares to this position, like I said I was going to. You can now see my triangle here. Maybe we call this the Bermuda Triangle on this one. So we grab some more, and then we grab a little bit more. I have no issues with adding on the way up, just in case the South Korean markets want to help your boy out here, Katina Man, and drag this DRAM to new highs. We're up already 7.5%. Man, CrowdStrike is going absolutely insane. I need to get my portfolio tracker. We need Fabian to fix that up there, because we're just more and more in the money on this bad boy, and we didn't have a split adjustment, obviously, within our portfolio tracker. But other than that, guys, we took a loss on Tesla this morning. We took a loss on Meta. Let's see if DRAM can start to work wonders for us here.
I just saw Randy, and one more.
What are we at now? Well, how many are we at now?
Is there an official count? There is not. He's trying.
Yeah, he's 6. We say the 5.5.
He's past the one paw there. He had to go to the second hand there.
Which was full of spring rolls.
Good for you, Randy, man. Have some more of those, man.
Yeah, man. Eat them.
There's not even that many people around. And it was hard-boiled eggs. And then we always get the bagels, the morning pastries, and all that. I got to, try to stay away from all that kind of stuff. But there's Apple. Right back to highs again, waiting for that one. What about U.S. oil?
What about
there? I don't know. Let's go check it out. I was thinking that oil's been too far too fast, in my opinion.
To the downside?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, too far too fast. Yes.
I was just saying, it's funny because you just mentioned oil, and then Trump said, quote, I think oil is much lower on a barrel basis than it was when we started.
It's not.
It's not. So, but that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's he's saying a lot of things.
He says.
I just don't know. And you know what? He's not. I mean, Adair, I asked you before. Wasn't it March? This first weekend in March.
Okay, so the first trading day would have been March 2nd. The first day that the conflict started was Saturday, February 28th.
Right.
2020.
You're down into here. Yeah. So it was actually. So if we go before the war, and shout out to President Trump, of course, allowed to say whatever he wants. But before the war, I'm seeing 80 right there. This is not a continuous contract, so I gotta, double check all of those exact prices. This is USO. Actually, USO would be right. So yeah, there it is right there. This is March. This is that first weekend there in February. In March, last weekend in February, where we started to get going. So that's what we're talking about now. And just to look at what oil's actually doing today, CL. And again, this is what I mean. We don't have every single here in P Pro 8, we always adjust it by the month of the contract. So down to $68 right now on the August contract. That doesn't look right right here on our chart. So I'm going to have to double check what's going on with that one. But there's oil right here proper.
Oil
still
proper.
Not back down into March. Right
What's
there.
Rivian doing?
Rivian's doing pretty good as far as I know. Rivian's been on the upswing. It did have a little bit of a tick back, 1950. So good moves now today, for Rivian as you're trying to get back to the upside there. Up 4.5%, RIVN. Still waiting for that invite, man. Want to test drive that R2, and then we'll figure out which name we're getting, either the Model Y or the R2. But 1850, nice little breakthrough there. Yeah, so that's that daily break. We talked about SoFi as well, trying to break out. There goes Rivian up to 1950 today.
10% on AMD. This thing's only a couple of percentage points up.
AMD is a monster. I mean, I'm a little nervous about the Marvell here. It's not going upside the same way everything else is, but we'll still take 5% today. But you said how much on AMD?
10% almost here.
Wow, 10% here today, just making us. Honestly, Joe, man, we would be so rich just holding AMD instead of NVIDIA.
Right.
And, there's AMD right now.
You own some AMD, though, don't you?
Yeah, but not much.
Not enough.
Nothing, man.
It's never enough.
Yeah, if you looked at probably not even 10% less than 10% of what my NVIDIA holdings are for sure.
Oh, really?
I got out of some AMD, man. When it was popping through, there's no doubt, if you go back to probably early April, which is not even that long ago, like when this thing was up here to 230s, like I probably got nervous when we I could double check for you, but we got nervous when it broke back down below there. Can you imagine that this had a basically sideways movement from February to, April 1st? So you went sideways there. You could have got all you can eat buffet there at AMD, just around $2. Now you're at 560 3 months later, Joe.
Yeah.
So that's tripled up in 3 months. Do I feel like it's foolish to get out of some AMD now? No, but the momentum is telling you that maybe you should ride this just a little longer, man. We haven't even thought about breaking the 50-period moving average yet. That's got to get below 500. And today you're at 570 again. So shout out to everybody holding some AMD in their portfolio, especially especially over the last couple of years.
I mean, the AMD is still not even it might be close now, Katina, man. Oh,
it is $1 trillion. Wasn't it 945?
No, it's very, very, very close. Very close. 30. Yeah, but it's like 300 million off, or 700 million. 700 million.
It's 70 million.
No.
You're talking about the trillion club.
Yeah,
it's 9.
Yeah, it's 930.
Billion.
Yeah,
so 700 million.
Yeah.
So we're still a little ways away.
Yeah.
Let's give it 7% higher or so, maybe 8%
from
its current level.
Not even, really.
And that's real-time updates.
Yeah,
I can see it flashing.
Time,
so, 700 million.
70 million, that's like a couple up and down ticks.
70 million. Yeah, it's joining the 1 billion club.
Yeah, exactly.
The 1 trillion club, absolutely amazing. Type in Eli Lilly, because they've been going downside a little bit there. I want to see what they're at right now, 1.12. Okay, so that's been it. But what a beast, man, AMD's been today.
Yeah.
And, just that pre-market break, like it actually held around 540 and then just got going. So, yeah, nice move there for sure. For everybody trading on advanced micro devices. That was a big one moving around here today. And then, the other one that I said that got invaded last week, but it was actually raided. They did not get invaded by those aliens. And hey, you believe in aliens? You think those things are real?
I mean, there's definitely life on other planets.
Is that a yes or no for these UFOs?
For the aliens?
Okay, let me put it this way. Has one landed here on Earth yet, in your opinion? Or been shot down or been whatever it's been?
I don't know about all that, man. That's crazy. What do you think?
Yes, I think there's been something here.
I don't personally have opinions on it, but I know that the U.S. government is like holding hearings and investigating the presence of them. Personally, you guys know I love watching congressional hearings. You could not pay me to watch these alien hearings. I'm not interested.
Oh, yeah.
It could be a thing. It could not. I don't personally have opinions.
Yeah.
The video footage is too fishy. It's just like, how can you go from high quality to this stuff to like this bootleg stuff? Like you're going back.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't bet any money on anything like that.
No one says no go. Like, listen, it'd be ignorant for you to say that there isn't life on. In my opinion, there isn't life on other planets just because the universe is so vast.
That's why I wanted to ask you a different question, because I do think that, of course,
there's
even as they get those rovers and all that kind of stuff going through on the moon and Mars and all that, they're gonna find
you're gonna find something like it. I honestly think that's inevitable.
What's going to the moon is Apple.
What's going to the moon
right now. It's not really. It's amazing that's only up 0.4, and I'm like so excited about it. But there it goes, trying to break through 310. So we're still on that one. And again, the number one idea I had on here was SpaceX, and then it was Apple. So we only have Apple. It's the only one that hit. And
great.
Joe, we had to hold Apple against us like 50, almost $1 against us. So it's nice to see it going on. Well, what are people talking about in the chat? Here, if we're gonna talk about aliens, man.
Yeah. Who is it? Oh, yeah,
I mean, is this company run by an alien right now?
Dude, do you want me to send you a cool video, Katina, man?
Always, man.
All right,
always,
cool. Because I know you watched the Alex Karp one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I
only send stuff to people. If you don't, when I send you something and you don't watch it or you don't comment,
like Sharif did.
That's it. Yeah, boom. That's it. You're done. You're cut off.
I'm cut off.
He sends me stuff all the time and all.
Yeah, Sharif gave you the reason. I mean, he was away all weekend.
So when I send you something, you best.
I bet if for now is that a threat? For now on, I bet if I do not check what Joe sends me, I'm not getting anything else. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's
fair. I told you, make a good father, man.
Yeah,
you got to wait to be Joe.
Yeah,
Joe, Father of the Year coming up soon, hopefully. For Milo, anyways. Maybe you got to get that human kid going on.
Oh, no, man. That's crazy. It's
not that crazy. Here it is. We just get it, boy. We just get that. Let's go, Apple. Nice move up there through 310 right now. That's a deuces now, a $2 winner. And again, if you're looking for some trade ideas, make sure you do check us all out. We want to say a big shout out to everybody on TikTok, everybody on Instagram, everybody watching on Twitch. I just
send you data centers in space.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why can't we hear? You guys tell us this.
Yeah.
There's Apple right there, 308.50. We had to take that long, and we took it.
Yeah, we're cooking
good momentum there. We're cooking on this one. You're cooking on DRAM. So Joe and I giving hopefully a lot of entertainment here today. Some stock talk, and I'm going to check that out. Why can't we look, space is another frontier.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up, by the way. But what about putting putting data centers somewhere like in the ocean?
The majority of cable's already in the ocean, but why do we want to do that? Like
because right here, is it easier? I don't know. I mean, then where do we get the
power
because
think about it. Yeah, exactly right.
No, but the hydro, I'm just wondering, is there some form that we can do that involves the ocean that is a little more realistic than?
Oh, what I just sent you, it's already happening. There's H100s in space. Trust me.
Is it the aliens making them, or is
no? Katina, man, watch. It's a blue dude. I promise you. like we're significantly closer to putting these things in space than what you could ever imagine.
So are we significantly,
what do we want
closer to adding to our SpaceX position then?
Yeah. After this, you're going to be buying more. I promise you. And there's another company called Star Cloud in there that you're like, the Chinese are really heavily involved in.
So I got to say a big shout. By the way, Apple's just.
Roger Noonan, I promise.
We've hit our day already on Apple, by the way.
Bang.
But there it is, man. China already is building in the ocean, says Canny. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit behind on this story. I just thought about it now when you're talking about space. It's not like I've read anything. And there's Microsoft. I'm an owner of Microsoft shares. They tried the ocean data center. So you guys let me know here, and shout out to everybody that's part of this chat again today. Thanks to Bravely over there on TikTok. People in the Instagram world here as well. But yeah, there it is, man. You are water, says Mike Peter Ryder. Yeah, we're building data centers on ourselves. But no,
Mike Peter Ryder.
Yeah, what's up, Mike Peter Ryder? I don't know. Be interesting to see if what fell through on that one. And I guess just because they have the cooling and all that, I was just thinking with the ocean, it's already sort of it's there. But anyways.
No, Roger, you're very right. And I posted the video, guys. If you want to go and check it out, I'll post it one more time. But that's the key, right? And Sharif mentioned the
video that you're showing me.
Yeah. Okay. And Sharif mentioned it as well. In order for it to be profitable, they really need to get the cost down, and there's companies within this that are already doing so. Trust me when I say, listen, you don't want to believe everything at the end of the day, but if there's proof of it, which I actually did a little more due diligence, these companies are really doing big things, and we're a lot closer than what you expect, guys. Trust me. Go and take a look at that one. Watch later says positive. I like you. Positive Planets. Pause as in a dog's or someone else's pause. I like that name. I don't have my animations, guys. Needs to lay out the Joe Rogan podcast. Dave, I don't even watch Joe Rogan, to be honest.
Chill, Joe. I mean, that's the other thing about due diligence I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is that it is tougher and tougher these days because of AI. Right?
Videos
that go out there, like, trust me, I saw this. It's like, right.
It's very, very, very misleading.
Right.
But I highly doubt
with President Trump wearing like.
I highly doubt that. I know you're only joking. I highly doubt that Bloomberg Originals is putting out AI-fed videos.
Really? You want me to show you some things that Bloomberg's put up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but
like a whole
I believe you. I'm
segment
just saying you got to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying anything that you're saying. I'm just saying that's part of the problem.
Oh, I like Joe Rogan.
I've never even really seen it.
Yeah, I like Joe Rogan and just mainly because of the UFC aspect. But anyways, guys, what I'm doing is I'm trying to hold this DRAM to 620. You can see my average, so we want to hold it for the Dollar Club full size. Boom. We add a little bit more. We started position. As soon as we held up the VWAP, I'm like, all right, this is my green light to go. Can we add a little bit more on the way up? I think we're extended at this point, but my primary target is going to be $66.20. It's each their own, right? Just watch the video and you can have your own opinion on it. You don't have to always listen to what I have to say. You don't have to listen at all. You can disagree with me. I have no issue with it. We don't have to see eye to eye on everything, but just make sure you absorb the information for yourself, and then you can base your opinion off of that. Don't just jump and be like, all this stuff. You like Joe Rogan? Yeah, I do like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's actually a very smart individual, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the one thing is you can't know about things unless you educate yourself, and then at that point you can make your
whether you agree or disagree is totally fine, man.
Yeah, don't worry about it. What is the chat getting on you for something there?
Well, I don't know. I'm not worried
I'm trying to look at it, but not really for those reasons. But there it is right now. I mean, I'm just the only thing that I understand is price movement, and we really do have a nice movement there from Friday on Apple. Let's see if Kids is back open. KIDZ, just to switch it up a little bit here. Yeah, so they get going there again, releasing a new sort of AI learning tool for, guess what, kids. And there it goes right now, breaking through 150. I actually like this name. I like the idea behind it. I don't think, all of these reverse splits, I think we can get this name going for the next couple of days, but I wouldn't hang around for a long time. Obviously, there's something going on there. Just because you develop software doesn't mean you're getting bought out by anybody or anything like that. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with AI and kids' platforms, but I do like, just looking back at, my daughter, again, just 11 years old, turning 12 very soon. She's got the iPhone, the iPod, the MacBook, and all that kind of stuff. And
crazy.
I'm just saying, I would say it's about 95% of, everybody that she interacts with, both on her hockey team and on her baseball team, all have iPhones. If not an iPhone, then, some sort of an Android device. So right now, even at that age, they have all those devices. I mean, they give them laptops at school. Like, so they give them all Chromebooks and everything. So very, very into it there, this kids. And whether or not you believe in kids should have iPhones or access to technology, here in Toronto, and by the way, wow, now we're $3.50 in the money. This Apple, man, I got to do a better job of trying to hold on to something just a little bit longer, like more mass hold-ons, because wow, there it goes, man, that 308.50. And again, we brought that to you on the note of stickiness today. That doesn't sound right. 308.50 right there was the buy. It's the only thing. We had TQQs written down at $75. So how low did that go today? We don't have it. Are you kidding me? Joe, this is what gets me mad. We had $75 written down. It went to $75.10. Now at $77 there. We have LHSW written down at $5. That doesn't hit. Okay. We have SpaceX at $160. So yeah, man, it's been a really good day here to get that one going. Yeah, the note there. The sticky note's a good one today, that's for sure. As Apple is starting to Les Moonves there to the upside. You know where he's from?
Who?
Les Moonves?
No.
CBS, I believe. But there it is. Nice move higher there. As you know what? Netflix.
Yeah, Apple looking really good, Katina, man.
Apple's been hot fire there. I wish we would have. Well, we took enough shares to be happy with it. We actually got 2 fills on Apple. So
nice,
we liked it so much, we bought it twice. It was so nice.
Yeah.
We bought it twice.
Twice. I like that one.
Twice right there. Sergei Bobrovsky, happy for the Maple Leafs. Oh, he's wearing 72.
Yeah, not Gavin.
Yeah, so Gavin and him.
You give that up to the vet right away.
Yeah, immediately, and then he took 92. Former number
of. Ooh, wow. It wasn't Dougie, was it? No, it wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
Doug Gilmore's number 93, one of the most storied numbers.
Okay, I was close, dude. I knew it was 90 something.
You still threw Doug Gilmore's number.
Who was 92 on? Oh, Nick Andropov.
No.
Oh,
he was.
Are you sure?
Was he 96?
Maybe something along those lines. I thought it was 92.
It was Jeff O'Neill.
Jeff O'Neill? Was it?
Yeah, it's the O-Dog.
No way. Was it O-Dog who wore 92?
That's
crazy.
Yeah, that's a good one. A couple good guesses there. So now we're 1-1. You got me the Kadri. I got you on 92.
Okay, no, Alex McGillney was 86, right?
No.
Or 87.
No.
Man, are you sure?
I'm 100%. Oh, I'm going to go 2 for 1 here.
Okay.
89.
89.
Alex McGillney.
All right.
Yes. On Joe's last day. All right. Finally got him.
Okay, I got you one here.
No.
Talk about, man. Give me a chance. Do we? Number 11. Let's send it over.
Number 11?
Yeah. You're not going to get this one. I promise you.
I almost said Mike Gardner, but he was 22. No. Okay, let me think about it.
Yeah,
we'll go
all right. You got more time than me, Adara.
Steve Sullivan?
No.
You guys might have seen on the screen here President Trump currently talking about crypto, saying he's, quote, become a big crypto guy for one reason. If they don't have it, if the U.S. doesn't have it, China's going to have it. So he is still talking. He just spoke about FIFA for like 5 minutes straight. So lots of comments, not all of them market related, some of them related to the market, and now actually also related to crypto. Let's start here, the small cap recap with SBEV. Keep an eye on Splash Beverage here today. This is a name that has, in fact, rallied in the past, so be aware. SBEV in focus here, entering an exclusive global licensing agreement with Argent Biopharma for CAN-Apple. This is a proprietary epilepsy therapy. SBEV has rallied in the past, market cap of just under $4 million here. Next up, KIDZ, another name that's rallied in the past. Kids AI. I believe this company changed its name from Class over, so this could be another AI pivot here. This morning, they announced that they unveiled their product KidsBot, which is an AI robotics learning platform, $1.65 million market cap, float here of 1.11 million shares, 11.5% short float. Last but not least, the one everyone's been talking about, LHSW, the only one of these to not have a day one catalyst. This catalyst on their screen is from a couple weeks ago, June 24th. They announced that they secured AI-powered automotive painting robot sales orders in both West and Southern Africa. LHSW right now seeing a market cap of around $22 million. I was seeing a float of 150,000 shares, 14% short float or so. Again, these numbers are going to vary, but lots of news on watch here and lots of small cap tickers on watch to kick off the week. Back to you.
All right, guys, let's see, man. It's starting to get a little dangerous. I mean, we did add a little bit more shares. I was waiting for that dollar club here on DRAM. We're up 8%. Maybe we're just a little bit overbought at this point here. I don't want to get too carried away, especially if it doesn't want to continue on the path that it is. But Apple is putting up some numbers here today. So is AMD. AMD almost up 10%. We head over to some of the memory storage like Western Digital up 10% here today. Just a complete buy buy program. SanDisk up 3%, DRAM up 8 1/5. So, I mean, a lot of these names look like they want to get going. There goes SanDisk, though. I mean, SanDisk looks like it has some room. So if we're going to get a laggard effect on this bad boy, then by all means, I think that can add a little bit more fuel to the fire here. What is Micron? Like, Micron's not even really doing anything crazy, so I like our chances. It's Western Digital that's really holding us up right now in DRAM. With that being said, if I see these names start to form a rally, I think we can continue to move to the northeast, which we want on this name specifically. Tesla long sold. Okay, Tony, thanks for that information. Let's take a look at Tesla. We're up 3% here today. Buy program, now it's looking pretty good, so not too bad of a look there. Now, listen, I was talking about, guys, just a little bit about South Korea and how things can get really, really dangerous, I think, with obviously the country in itself and the Kospi up being 300% since this time last year, which is insane, drastically outpacing any other index on the planet. It's not even close. It's so far gone at this point, and they're stating that a lot of it is being driven by retail investors. Now, again, we've talked about it on multiple occasions. When you do, I'm going to pull up the chart on the side here, guys, so we can take a look at it. But there's going to be a backside at some point. Am I going to be standing in front of it right at this given second? Absolutely not. But I think there's going to be a really good opportunity for, that's crypto, for a potential, and I would look to somehow get involved with the derivatives route. I would never go shares, so I can keep a fixed risk, right? But here it is. At some point, and with SK Hynix coming as an ADS, so they're turning shares, I think it's going to be disastrous for SK Hynix because look what happened to Bitcoin, and we thought different things were going to happen. Eventually, things will cool down. You're still up 250% from this pivot here to the top. You're up 300%. Now, there's going to be a point where you drop. Again, we've had those sessions before, but all the way up here, 10%, it's going to be a lot more dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised at some point in the future you see a 20 to 30% pullback here in the Kospi.
We got to, I mean, how about by Friday?
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. I think that SK Hynix listing over here is...
It's disastrous. I think it's disastrous for South Korea.
Thank you so much for the nice talk in the chat there about the trade there. Thank you, Celeste, there for that off of YouTube. Look, it's been a good one here for sure. Apple. So yeah, you guys, Roger Noons got calls. You know, I feel like if I was able to trade options here on the show, I feel like
it's a different story.
So much more dangerous of a trader on there because I wouldn't be able to get out as often as I do, and that's part of the problem with shares. And sometimes when I'm trading too many shares,
though, Katina, man.
No, but I mean, like, what I'm saying is, like, if maybe you would have 5 contracts, right? So then I'd only be able to get out of 5 times. Like, you can't get out of
okay, yeah, but your appreciation is going to be
no, it'd be way different.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. No, I'm not. I don't mean to equate the trading style. It's just like, you know, you have all these outs because, you know, if you have 1,000 shares, you can get out of 50 there. I mean, we just got 11.65 right there. Now this is now $4.
That's really moving.
In the money, right off the open, $4 trade. But we try to do this. It doesn't matter the amount of. This is what I'm saying. Like, now that we look over, now I have 5% left. You know, it's just crazy. Like, I should have more than that. You know, but so many outs up here at 310 when, you know, just key levels. Like, I'm just. Part of my MO and where I've come from is literally trading and scalping many different styles. So, you know, unfortunately, I just need to get better at that. Maybe you guys can help me there in the chat and let me know, like, how do we let this ride just a bit longer? I even did mark down a 25 period moving average, but see, like, that broke right here down there at 309. It broke again right there at 309.25. So maybe we just wait and get out. Like, every time it breaks, like, that should be a quarter, then maybe a quarter more there, and then we would still have, 25%, 50% left as we extend through. But that's a nice little push right there on AAPL. Yo, what's up? Adam DeLuz is in there saying hi as well. Hey, Adam. And what's up to everybody? Neil's. Hopefully this is not our Neil because he better not be in Thailand or because he got to come back by tomorrow. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I don't know how many vacations day this guy has. I'm pretty sure it's the same as me. But Joe with the most vacation days amongst everybody.
I have the least.
Joe with the most vacation days.
I'm off this Friday.
Wow, Joe.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Back-to-back short weekends. I told you I'm heading to the capital of this country.
Oh, Calgary?
Yeah.
No. I wonder how many in the chat would know what the capital of Canada is.
I would say probably less than half.
Way less than half. Well, no, I just, even with the average American, it's not about, it's just being here in Canada, there's all those jokes. Like, people don't realize that Minnesota is more north than we are right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's like different things about it. And it's just,
there we go, we got it.
You know, it's like, just the same way we are very, I would say, I don't want to say stubborn, but you know, if you ask my kids or anything like that about the U.S. geography as well, it would be probably pretty tough to get it. Like tomorrow. I mean, my kids.
So? I think
it's would know Washington.
Okay. So what do you ask me?
No, but all the states.
I don't know. I couldn't name all of them, right? Okay, remember how in school you'd have well, I could probably name it. Give me time. I could probably figure it out. But remember in school you'd have that blank map.
What's the capital of Oregon?
Oh, Portland.
Okay, I don't know. I don't think that's right, but I mean, maybe.
I think it might be right.
I don't think it is.
So I mean, hey.
But anyways, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Like, we can throw out guesses about everything.
Well, I would think, right?
And I just threw that one out, like let alone any.
Wrong. Someone said wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong. It's not Portland, Oregon. No, it's, I should know because I know wine country.
Yeah, I definitely can't name all the states, but I do want to use this moment for a shameless self-plug because I am doing more state attorney general's attorneys general infographics right now, and I'm literally using like this map, and I wish I could just identify more of them by site. Yeah, thank you, Andre, giving a little sneak preview there. So lots of states, and shout out to everybody from any and all of them who is watching right now.
All right. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know. But anyway, so you're going to Ottawa.
Yeah.
I'll just tell everybody that. I mean, I don't need to look up that for our nation's capital. Is that just on a vacay, or you're just going?
Yes, Selena's brother, who has 2 Dachshunds as well, so they're Milo's cousins.
Dachshunds?
Yeah. So we got Milo's cousins.
Oh, that's where you got Milo from?
No. We got them from a different breeder, but we're
just calling them cousins.
Okay.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah, do you know that?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But
maybe go canoeing.
Talked about you need to have some real kids up in here. We talked about that.
Man.
As well, but yeah, okay. I just shouted down notable Maple Leaf players to wear number 11. Gary Lehman.
Okay.
And that's it. So I guess you're probably right about Zach Hyman.
Zach Hyman wore 11.
Also wore it. So I don't know about Owen Nolan.
But brother, I'm gonna pull that up.
Number. I am gonna pull it up because now you've got me thinking about it. Owen Nolan there.
I'm probably wrong the way that I've been.
But it doesn't really matter as we continue to go. Okay, so Apple mooning. By the way, we're trying to look for SpaceX here. Right now it's only 10:34. We want to thank everybody for watching, man. Hit the like, hit the subscribe as we continue to go on. Yeah, he wore number 11 during his time in Toronto. 1 year. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's why I was only here 1 year.
Number 11.
Acquired by the San Jose Sharks right there. Some Owen Nolan. San Jose Sharks doing some big things, that's for sure.
They are.
My daughter was on the ice with Mason Marchment last week.
Really?
And then the day later was July 1st, and he signed a 5-year, $37 million deal with the San Jose Sharks.
Nice.
So shout out to the NHL and all sports right now. And everyone's mind, of course, is on our favorite nation, the U.S., as they played tonight. And I'm going to check out the World Cup.
You see that offer sheet? Who gave
Pittsburgh. Philly.
Yeah, but that's
Leo
so
Carlson.
disastrous.
19 million or
18 million?
Is that what it was?
If Philly, it's over, right? You can't do anything. We've seen that happen in the Leafs. If you have $18 million,
you're going to get locked up into one account, and you're not going to like that after all. No. Okay, here it is right now. What? That's today? Oh, boy. This is already the second round.
Yeah.
Though, Spain versus Portugal, USA versus Belgium as well today. So, wow, what a
USA's favored?
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah, ever since they got, I forget his name there, Balogun, is that who it is? Back there as President Trump gives the orange card to FIFA, and he comes right back in. That was hilarious when someone said that in the chat. But there it is, man. This is the game, boy. This is it right here. Portugal versus Spain. Wow, that's going to be a monster. And so is this game as well. USA versus Belgium. We hope that everybody cheering for whatever your respective team is gets the W today. But USA being favored over Belgium. You know why? Home means a lot.
Yeah, big time.
Like Mexico was pretty heavily favored over, not heavily favored, but decently favored over the U.S. over England last night.
Yeah.
When questionably, England, man for man, is probably the better, more talented team.
Absolutely.
Just man for man, but, playing at home and all that momentum from Azteca, their stadium, absolutely amazing. Egypt's supposed to, don't show this to Sharif, but I'm sure he understands this. Egypt to deal with. Argentina's going to be a tough one there. And then Switzerland versus Colombia, man. You've seen the Colombian fans, man. My hats are off to you guys. No matter where they're playing, the whole stadium is yellow. So shout out to people supporting their fans. And then this would be Canada normally if we did not get dummied by Morocco there.
That's right.
3-0. They played well, I thought, like in the first half.
The first half they played better.
And then Morocco, I guess, tightened it up a bit.
Clinical.
Yeah, and then it was just like, that's enough, man. And France versus Morocco, and then that's it, right? Oh, yeah. And then Norway. Wow, this next round is going to be spicy. Man, and big shout out to Egypt. It's too bad that they're the biggest dog because we do know that Sharif is here. But yeah, that's awesome for them to make it this far. So big shout out to everybody. You know what? Like, not a big fan of, I'm a big fan of all sports.
Yeah.
You know, but definitely the least followed for myself would be football and soccer.
Absolutely.
But now after this World Cup, it does. I'm not bandwagoning this or anything like that, but
for me, there's too many leagues.
Now.
There's too many leagues, man.
But that's why not just focus on the Prem or on
Serie
A or something like that?
And there's too much talking going on. Too much
yeah, you don't like the referee. It is.
It's just like
at least no longer can people say Italian.
I can't watch. It's so coming from a hockey background where I tore my ACL and then finished the game. I've lost multiple teeth, finished the game. Dudes get tapped, and it's like they've been hit by a 50 cal, and it's just like, oh my, what is even going on here?
At least now they have that video replay, which helps a little bit. Hopefully the video replay prevents a little bit of diving, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, there's a lot of people there excited for tonight's game. We hope that everybody does have, a good time watching and enjoying it with friends and family, of course. As we see Sia's in the building, and Sia, you've been watching a lot of that soccer, I imagine. I know she was watching last night. Was a great game. So it's just too bad. Talk about being, in attendance. That would have been amazing. Not because obviously they lost. You'd like to see the home team win. Yeah. But whenever I'm cheering on a game where I don't have a dog in the fight, I always want the home team to win.
Okay.
Because I know how expensive these tickets are.
Yeah.
And I always feel like people kind of get ripped off there when they don't enjoy a good performance by the home team. But okay, so IBIT today, not really enjoying this run up in the Nasdaq, but it was getting hit down pretty badly early on as people obviously worried about MSTR and what some of their accounting practices are leading and how that's happening with IBIT, and they're trying to sell off some of their Bitcoin holdings. They sold about 216 million worth of Bitcoin, I read last week, I believe. Their MSTR getting to some downside play there as well. So there comes down, breaking through $99 now. Downside there for MSTR. We'll get that going a bit, and that's had a nice day considering where we were at 8:30. Nice move higher there into $100 for MSTR. What other names you guys want us to look at, man? Throw them right in the chat.
Take a look at Reddit for me.
Yeah, Joe's taking a step out. We'll take a look at Reddit. We will do that, Joe, in a couple seconds. But for right now, I do want to look, Blaze. We'll look at that kid stock, KIDS again, see what's going on over there. As I know there's a lot of you that are, looking at some smaller cap names. We do have Sharif and Joe coming again. Sharif is back. So no more Obi for today. Obi filled in last week. I want to say big shout out to Obi and a big shout out to everybody that's joining us again. And we do have this consolidated chat. So anybody that puts anything in there, I blew my knee out there. There's rugby. I played rugby and blew my knee out my last year in high school, and I still have pretty bad knee problems for that, and already had surgeries and everything, so I don't have an ACL or an MCL right now, and I haven't had it for many years. BJDX says, "Hey, day trading, what's up?" Hey, there's Luis, he's in the building. JDX. Let's have a quick look at this one. Blue Jay. Oh, we've heard about Blue Jay Diagnostics many times before. Yeah, good little looker here. Shout out to Luis there. A Day Trading. Go check out Luis and Company. A Day Trading on Twitter. He's also on X. He's also in the chat right now. So any questions from anybody in Barcelona, give him a shout out there. Yeah, but there goes Blue Jay Diagnostics. This looks like a good one, right? Above VWAP here, trying to break out. It's definitely run in the past. Looks like we get a little bit of a reverse split right there, so be careful on this one. But yeah, trying to get back upside there. Potential move on a Nasdaq. Excuse me, I shouldn't say anything because it's not under $1. So they wouldn't have got the Nasdaq delist requirement. But there's Blue Jay Diagnostics up 73%. Thanks for that one, Luis, there in the chat as well. New high, trying to break through. There goes $2 on BJ. DX. I think we should probably go long on this one above that $2 mark. All right, we got to go back to Adara. It's 10:41. Watch out for Blue Jay here. Our Blue Jays here in Toronto, Adara. I don't know if you've been watching, but they are in the tank right now. The Blue Jays are playing absolutely horrible. But a big shout out to our $700 million man who has 4 home runs this year.
Yeah, I know. It's disastrous.
He has 4 more than you and I, but still not too much. Considering he's played every game.
$700 million.
He's taking the day off. He's not going to the All-Star game.
Rightfully
Which
so.
I say shout out to that. I mean,
I think that's the right
He wants to work on his back, and apparently he's not doing too well, or I don't know. Isn't that funny that always happens? All right, Adara, let's go back over to you.
Yeah, I root for and follow one team, Sean, and that is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers over in Winnipeg. Go Blue. Let's take a look here at this sector map here, because we do have a lot of comments from President Trump, who's actually currently speaking about sports. He's mentioned a lot of public companies or public company CEOs right now, so just be aware. Dell, of course, getting some love here over at Electronic Technology. It's up 8% today as President Trump tells people for the 3rd time now to go out and buy a Dell. Tesla CEO and also SpaceX CEO Elon Musk also getting mentioned here by President Trump. He mentioned Bezos, formerly of Amazon, and also, of course, founder of Amazon. He also mentioned Mark Zuckerberg of Meta over at Technology Services. So with that in mind, let's kind of go back to these sectors here. Electronic tech has mentioned Dell up 8%, but a lot of other names in the sector are looking really good. Apple and NVIDIA, the 2 Mag 7s in this group, both up just under 1% each. Broadcom, Micron, AMD, Intel, TXN, SanDisk, SGX, Qualcomm, all sharply to the upside. Memory names recovering nicely here after all of them posting red weeks last week. Tech services, bit more of a mixed look. You've got strength here, especially in these cybersecurity names like CrowdStrike and Palo Alto Networks, but Netflix, ADBE or Adobe and Microsoft all pulling back. Finance really mixed here. As Sean mentioned earlier, no news on these, but weakness here in Visa and MasterCard. Retail trade red, health tech sharply red, consumer services, utilities, consumer non-durables, transportation, process industries, and health services all red. You do have some strength in consumer durables, pretty much just Tesla trying to buoy this sector, and producer manufacturing doing incredibly well today. You had price target increases from Morgan Stanley for the likes of LRCX and AMAT, as well as KLAC, which is not in the sector. President Trump just concluded questions, and that's the end of our stock recap here, sector watch, as we go back over to the guys.
All right, good stuff. All right, there's a Tushar, I think his name is, man. I'm going to go over, I don't know if you went over Reddit, Katina Mans, just so you stop spamming the chat, please don't spam it. I now have your name in my head, because if you continue to do that, yeah, you got to be careful. Our DDT, we'll pull up that one. DDT. Shout out to who had the finishing.
That was Jake the Snake Roberts, my friend.
The DDT.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. That was some good stuff over there. All right, guys. Here's Reddit. Listen, it went on a pretty big run, down 30% off of the highs. But what it does have going for it from a technical standpoint, this trend line's holding up. You break through some key resistance zones, and then now you're starting to find some form of a recovery. So Reddit not looking too bad. I'd hold on to this at this point. I think you can look for a level around 215 schmackas on our DDT. But here goes DRAM, Katina, man. We still have the same price target. I added a little bit more. I have some confidence. I'm telling you, watch the videos that I've been posting. It would give you a lot of conviction within some of these trades. We're up 8.5%. Now, the objective of holding this is adding, so I don't have to hold it all the way to $6.20 or $66.20. What we can do is a break of 66, and then we'll look to take a little bit off there, Katina, man. But DRAM starting to climb a little bit higher for us. What is MU? And we can't figure out. Well, we can, but there's a number base that I'm not too sure of. We'll just take a look at some of these memory names. Is SanDisk starting to roll? Is MU starting to roll? Now 5% to the top side, 5 1/5 on SanDisk. Breaking through some of these resistance zones, holding through the volume-weighted average price. This pre-market high is going to be a key inflection point for us here. Now, same thing with Micron. Ooh, new high of the day for Micron there, Katina, man. So things are looking pretty good. Western Digital up 11% here, brother. So, I mean, we're really starting to fly in Applied Materials. Michael Burry short, still working out for him.
Having some grapes here.
Yeah.
Are you a red or a green grape guy?
I like red.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of like the green. I think
both.
good
To be
green.
honest, I like both.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah. I like them if they're
some
squished
quality
up, too.
peach season too. I like the peaches.
Don't get me started about peaches. Peaches for me. Presidents of the United States of America. That song, you heard that song before?
What's that?
Called Peaches.
By Justin Bieber?
No. By Presidents of the United States of America. I mean, you want to talk about looking something up. I mean, you might want to get some educated.
Is it worth it, though?
Yes. It's much better than Peaches by Justin Bieber. And I'm a JB guy.
Okay.
He might be performing at the World Cup. Oh, he is. Is that official? On the World Cup finals there? Yeah. All right. We'll get that going. Okay. Watch the Peaches song, or Peaches by President.
Peaches and Cream.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we're doing. But anyways, SpaceX, people are saying that SpaceX is getting close to your level over here, and it is, man. I mean, I do think that SpaceX in and around that 161. I do have a buy now at one. I know I wrote down 160, but I have it now at 161 right now for a potential. Oh, what just happened there? Oh my God, we got 312s. Just had a little bit of a marker there as it comes right up, and we sat there right ahead of 312. So I call it 312. I mean, 311.95. Is that what I got there? 311.89. And we did mention we do sit in front of key levels by a couple pennies, and not that it mattered this time because there goes Apple now through 312. The only trade that I have on board today, and we've met our goals. We've been having a great time here today. We've met our daily goal, and couldn't be happier. We're sitting here and trading with everybody every single day, man. It's been a blessing, to be able to sit here and talk trading with everybody and just have a great time. So my next trade will be on SpaceX if and when that does come through. We did have some talk earlier about Microsoft, and they're sort of tipsy too in the morning. I mean, it was starting to go back up there to the upside, and then it just cranked, got back going, still underneath VWAP. This is the amazing thing, man. And we talk about relative strength versus not. And it's so interesting because the Nasdaq now up 1.6% on the back of everything chip related, everything memory related, right? I mean, Microsoft down 1.53%. I know we're on Apple, but that just kind of, the Nasdaq was going without Apple to begin with in the first place. I know Apple's going now, but still the Nasdaq outproducing Apple right now. So that's actually happening. And so we don't have to worry too much about what Apple's doing with the Nasdaq. But if we go over here and just the watch list that I have on board here today, if we wanted to zoom in, I'll just leave it right here, Andre, and you can take a quick look if you can zoom in. But there's SOX L, the AMD trade working out, up 10% on AMD. Marathon, always the runner, it seems like, with Marathon. Got to figure that one out. Qualcomm up 5%, so we bought that recently.
Is it?
Qualcomm's doing all right. Could obviously be doing better. Marvell up 5%, so that's a nice one there as well. Intel going, the TQ's going. ARM as well, 5%, Broadcom 5%. So, most of these names here that are leading the way today are all going to be part of that data center, part of that chip game. So as they say, chip game strong.
I was about to say
just
that.
like Joe's club game strong. Right, yeah, going to clubs. You going to club?
No, I haven't been in a club in a long time, man.
Yeah.
I came
2
to the
weeks
conclusion.
counts as more than a long time, my guy.
Brother,
over here.
Sharif been in a club before me and possibly you.
Why do you have to worry about Sharif for?
Once I lost my hair, I'm like, that's it for me.
Yeah.
Can't be seen in the club anymore.
Plus, you're no longer single man Joe running around. How long have you been with Celine?
It's all right, man. Don't worry about it.
I mean, don't worry about it. I can't even. Sharif, how do you deal with this guy? This guy can ask me any question he wants, but over here, I just ask him how long. Okay. Maybe it's been multiple years.
Too long?
Too long. Hey, you said it. You're the one saying it, man. Yo, make sure you clip this. No. But, the names that are on the other side of this today, as we continue to have some good fun, Cerebras, finally there. We actually haven't mentioned that in a minute. That's now under $200. So Cerebrus's price that they came to market with was $180. They came to the actual stock market at $350. So they're getting chopped up right now pretty nicely there. SBRS. Too bad about Shopify. No longer Canada Day, but Shopify had a nice move back up as some of those software-related names did have a battle back recently. My little shitey Uber keeps on doing not well, man. And you know what? I saw that video that Sharif just mentioned before about this Tesla just crushing the streets of Toronto. Yeah, man, that's a problem for you, Uber, right now. I'm telling you that right now. Like, these guys are maneuvering around the streets without even.
I know. I listen, man.
Yeah, just a couple
I'm all about it. I'm getting
more and more confident now that I'm not even my hands are nowhere even near the wheel anymore.
Yeah, there you go, man.
That's
what I'm talking about.
Or,
like, if you're telling me that in the next 10, 15 years that people are still going to be controlling, I mean, that might be a little bit of a stretch.
It's
but
not.
your kids, no, and it's not.
I don't think
right?
it is a
Like,
stretch.
think about it. Gia's
long.
going to own a cybercab probably and not even have to touch a steering wheel.
I don't. You might be right about that.
That's just how I feel about it.
And I don't think you're wrong. No, the kids love it. The kids, that was one of the main reasons. Gia takes credit for me getting a Tesla. Because she's like, Dad, remember that time when you asked me if you should get a Tesla? And I said, yes. Like, you should definitely get one. She's not wrong, though, because it was probably about 2 weeks later I was in a Tesla.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I can't make decisions myself. I'll let my 11-year-old, at that time 10-year-old, make them for me, and it was a great one. All right, we could have an L on right now. We do got to go
we'll be
back
careful
over.
on that
We've got
one.
to do money talks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what's for lunch, because
you want to do what's for lunch before we go back?
No, let's go back and
okay.
then come back.
We're in yeah, we will. We're into SpaceX right now off of 160. I'm only going to give it to 159 and change. Like I said, man, we already have one. We only made one trade today. It was Apple. It was $4. Apple's still trying to go. But at the end of the day, SpaceX here, if it can't hold this 160, man, we gone like Donkey Kong out of this name, SpaceX. No more averaging into it. It's down here at 160. We're caught long at 160.80. We're minus $1 club on this one. But the good thing is we have less than half a unit. So so far so good here. But we're giving some back. So, we can't celebrate our wins without talking about the losses. And here it comes right back into 160 is SpaceX. Let me put on that half a unit and wait to see what winds up happening here. SPCX. I guess we just should have waited for the level we wrote down, which was 160. Now we'd be 40 cents in the money. All right, it's Adara back at the desk. It's Money Talks.
This US dollar, nice little, not quite a double bottom, but pretty darn close here on the daily chart. You have the support coming in at 100 halves on Thursday. I'm seeing here Friday, I guess, populated here slightly higher low and sort of a doji candle here, or I guess rather a bottoming tail candle. You get, again, a slightly higher low, more or less aligned with that low that we had the prior session, and pretty much a flat close compared to where we opened. And then today, it's just straight upside here, opening here around 100.85, currently trading around the high here. That's going to be around 100.15. So nice look here for the DXY. Next level resistance would be that high from last week, Wednesday, July 1st, which is around 101 halves. Then you're going to get into that other recent high we made in late June, 101.8. Economic data today, we did have some, though none of it was super massive. You had slightly lower than expected S&P services and composite PMI prints at 9:45 a.m. At 10 a.m., you get ISM services PMI at 11 a.m. So in just about 7 minutes here, you're going to have comments from Fed's Waller. So Fed Governor Waller to be speaking. Apparently he's going to be speaking here alongside Schnabel and Wunsch of the European Central Bank. So be aware, those comments set to begin soon. I'm also seeing some reports here, nothing massive, but I guess tangentially related to the U.S. dollar, just stuff to be aware about. Seeing reports from Notice suggesting that the Treasury of the U.S. has an internal draft report that warns about the dangers of an AI bubble. So unclear what's going to come of that as for right now, just a report and just an internal draft, but interesting to note there for, I guess, the U.S. dollar and the U.S. economies. We send you back over to Sean and Joe.
Yeah, look, man, I wish I had a little bit more confidence in myself, Dion, right there. Whether or not, there's only a couple of goats, and definitely I am not one of them. We do have Brendan right here, if you're talking about some kind of a goat. But no, and I think you might be just referring to the fact that, I said to Joe, why not just be a little more patient? There's SpaceX 160 long. That's $1.25 in the money. It went against us 20 cents. There's Apple 308.50, now 450 in the money. So only 2 of our trades hit so far today. LHSW got to 550, now 650, but we wrote down 5. So we don't have that one. We want to thank you for the support there as well. Yeah, man, there goes SpaceX. So we'll celebrate it. I'll get another piece out here. Why not take that out at 30 as it continues to climb a bit higher? Kind of lucky, not lucky. Our stop was 159.50, went down to 159.80. So, this trade, if you are patient like I was, I was, but could have been more at 160. You now have $1.30 in the money, and it did go 20 cents against us. So that's about 6-1 right now to the upside. Let's see if we can hold this one just a little bit more. I'm actually already out of half exactly right now. So up there now, we'll take a 70-cent winner on half. Actually not on half, but we few outs on the way back up, but once that turned profitable through 161, there goes SpaceX right now. Now $1.50 off of that posted level, so that was a good one here, and you called for it. All right, Joe.
All right, man.
Here we go.
I'm all out of DRAM, by the way. We'll take a small W on this one. We were just adding. Once we rejected and put in that lower high, I knew it was going to be a little disastrous. Shit. Yeah, I know. I knew it was. Well, when you said take another L, I thought you were talking about that one, but we didn't take any form of an L on DRAM. Is it an O-ish good or an O-ish bad?
It is a U.S. flag.
Oh, yes. All right, this is what I'm talking about. Burgers.
It's a U.S. flag.
Yeah.
It is double smashed beef burgers. Here we go. We are getting lit up again.
Straight to the bicep, baby.
That's right.
It.
SpaceX, mine's going straight to the gut. As SpaceX now $1.80 in the money. It is double smashed beef burgers today. It is double. And if Randy gets a hold of them, maybe triple smash.
Triple smash.
That's getting smashed right down there.
Sharif hates it. Straight to the bicep, baby. Let's go.
Sharif, man. Sharif, what does Sharif want? These falafel burgers or something?
Bro was just in Texas, probably having Texas barbecue.
Well, I don't know.
Yay.
Oh my
days.
days.
So now he's mad about a little bit of, Angry Wife says, Joe, put those away.
There's some good barbecue joints here. I'm sure there's tons in Texas, needless to say. All right, well, we didn't get past the burgers.
Okay.
I never get this reaction from Neil, so I really I gotta play it off.
Sorry. Should I calm down a little?
You should be like, beef burgers, that's all right.
Cool.
No, he gets excited. Neil will be upset to miss burgers.
Yeah, it was the second time he's missed burgers. Remember last time he missed them?
He was like, I can't wait for burgers.
Hey,
man, he took a day off.
Bicep burgers.
He's probably really happy with his day off, so we were happy for him. He'll be in tomorrow, where I just looked at what tomorrow's is. So. Welcome back, Neil. Okay, don't worry what it is tomorrow, okay, my God. No, don't worry about what it is tomorrow. I cannot ruin it.
That's crazy.
Right now, $2 in the money on SpaceX. We have sides, one of my favorite as well. Oh, man. Grilled corn. I love corn.
With the burgers today?
Yeah, burgers and corn. What a cookout we're having over here. And then generic salad with apparently sweet corn as well. So there's a lot of corn happening today. So we give a big shout out. That's what's for lunch. And by the way, Joe, you were not joking. When I sat down today and he's like, what are we trading? I just wrote down immediately SpaceX. Without even really,
man, missed that.
And there it goes right now. Now it's $2 clean in the money on SpaceX. So
where's my boy Gorev?
Joe, the one thing is, man, obviously we've been having a great time together.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for filling in. Joe fills in every time Neil or myself is not available. And with the vacations this summer, it's been quite often.
SpaceX,
so I want to say a big shout out. Maybe next time you'll take the trades that I post up.
Yeah,
but there goes SpaceX. No, don't take your own trades.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say
we're 2 for 2 today, man.
But I like the look of SpaceX right now. It's not even the fact that you posted it. It's just
no. It's not about that. I mean, the 160. I mean, we like key levels.
Yeah.
Whether or not you find them, I find them, Sharif finds them, Mandera, it doesn't matter. Like, it's about trading what you're confident in trading, and I like playing off levels. And how many times I can go back and show you every single sticky note has had at least something about SpaceX, let alone 160. When it was underneath it, we were trying to short 160. Now it's above 160, we're going long, and now it's $1.50 in the money on that one. And then our Apple trade was, again, like, I'm trying to show that, not only is it sometimes technical levels, but also just momentum. Like Apple was there on Friday. I said it again, on Thursday. And so no surprise that it's there today. All right, Joe, say bye to everybody.
Bye, everyone.
All right, see you, Joe. That was not dramatic. I was hoping a little more dramatic than that. But yeah, bye, everybody, says Joe. So Joe will see him in just a matter of seconds right now. He's been working up a storm. So we say thank you to Joe. And he'll be joining Sharif very, very soon. And the only thing that we really did miss today, man, was, dude, buy me a Dell. This one, we brought this to you guys early and often. And it was Trump and Michael Dell and, talking all about these Trump accounts. And, Dell was talked about very favorably one more time. So that was a huge move back there to the upside. Look, SpaceX big, Apple big. Hope you guys had a big day as well and hope you guys enjoyed whatever you were trading. And if you were on your hands today, perfect, man. You don't need to be trading all of the time. Randy, can you confirm the burgers have arrived or no? the burgers are in the house and you can't wipe that smile off of Randy's face. So we will see everybody very, very soon. We're going to get over to that gym. Sharif is back here. We're very happy to have him back. It's the Joe and Sharif, the midday show, and they're going to take it over right now. Thank you, everybody on TikTok today.
Oh, did you see the new tanker in our video there? Was that up?